Okay, yeah, we're gonna figure that shit out. I say you really do this, you probably just reset your whole shit, right? And then start your process from the beginning of of like connecting your YouTube and doing your settings and shit because you're already messing with the settings, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might just want to reset it. At least reset the YouTube settings or reset the your broadcast settings and shit.
Breakfast Club. Fucking Breakfast Club. Let's get to it early in the morning. Well, you can't go get breakfast from no fast food place right now. I'll tell you that. Not at no 11:35, 11:40. Mm-hmm. But what I do know it is the final. It's week 18. It's conversations. It's once again we're going to the postseason. So all those guys that are in the postseason, congratulations, and those that are fighting to stay in the playoffs or even looking to see if their seed changes and what their matchups is going to be. We're going to get into all that, man. After I'm done plugging in the plugs and shit like that, draft pass is done, completely done. Make sure you scout what you can scout right now because after I advance, it will be disappeared, gone. Finito. We're out of here. All that type of shit, man. Listen, we got a lot to talk about. Stats, awards, all types of things. Coach of the year, MVPs, all types of shit we're gonna talk about today. Early in the early stage of what we ready to do. We advancing early so games can get played. We will not be bullshitting in the playoffs. I'm telling you that right now. Knock these things out, get it knocked out, and if you are in the playoffs, get yourself in your mind right. Because it's time to rock out. Try to get yourself to that big dance, you heard? To that big dance right now, man. So let's get into what we always get into, and let's see, you know, how we looking. We're gonna look at some. Matter of fact, before I get into the standings, let's get out there. And of course, yeah. I'll be down there in a second. I'm on my show. I want to look at matchups. I want to look at matchups right now. Max, do me a favor. Talk about the top stories for 2 seconds, 2 minutes for me, please. Read the top stories and things like that.
Are you
2 minutes. I'm still here. Let me get her out the way before she blow the whole show. Yes,
all right?
sir. Get her out the way before she blows the whole show. Get her out the way before she blows the whole show.
Top story. We got DT Darren Thomas Jr. is seeing the entire field right now. What a performance! Darren Thomas is on another level. If Evan Stewart was out to get recognized this week, mission accomplished. Matt Corral with another touchdown. Better call off the dogs. Jesus, I don't know what that's about. What quarterback is Matt Corral?
That's the Browns quarterback, man. He'll be. She been balling out for the last couple of
Putting it on
games.
somebody apparently. You got
No,
the
I ain't know what you
Cowboys.
asked for.
Game over. Cowboys beat the Lions on the road. Okay, so we got a little bit of a that's a non-playoff team beating the playoff team. Cowboys beat the Lions on the road. That's a big win. Just keep giving Ruben Owens the ball. They can't stop him. That's a rookie. So two shutouts to the Cowboys right there in a Week 18 matchup against a playoff team, the Lions. And Ruben Owens looks like he was showcasing.
I
Um,
like him, man. What you think about the type of daddy putting in work like that?
I do like him. I was going against him in that second game, and he got to show that he's
That's
definitely
right. You did play him twice this year, man. So
he's
what
gonna
the
be a staple
Cowboys got to
back.
look forward to future wise?
All purpose back, every down back. definitely the next running back in Dallas. Probably, I would say between Zeus, him, and then Catrone, looking to become the guys like the stronghold guys in the NFC.
Damn. So what happened to the football team's running back over
They
there?
still got to figure it out. This the football team and the running backs. They haven't. They always go. They go that season where they have something. You can never know what they do next season. Next season, he might not even be the guy. He'll be on the roster, but he might not be the guy. You never know. They haven't really found that consistent every year back. If you just look at the numbers, so it's kind
So
of
are
hard
you
to
saying Boom Jackson is the fourth best running back in the NFC East?
productivity wise. Yes.
All right, so give me
Well,
your order of running
yes.
backs right now in the NFC
I would
East.
still go. I would go. Zeus. I would still put Catrone over Ruben just because Ruben's a rookie, and not like Catrone didn't produce his rookie year. And then I would go Ruben.
Wait. So you going Zeus as the number one back in the NFC East?
Hmm. Out of productivity, yes, my guy's clearly the better guy, but productivity stats don't lie.
I'm saying
Zeus.
you just made two different statements. You said yes, and then you said my guy is
I'm gonna
clearly the
say,
best
I'm gonna
guy.
say, because my guy is the best guy, but is he producing the best? Is he getting the most opportunities to show that he's the best? No, Zeus is, and he does with his
I,
opportunities. He shows that he's the
I'm
best.
listening to you, but I also know you talk highly about Zeus, man.
He's not. I mean,
You talk
I
very
have no
highly
problem
about him,
saying
so it's
he's
not
that
like you
guy
trying
though.
to
So
diss him or nothing,
yeah,
because you always
yeah,
giving him
exactly.
his flowers. So
But when I go, but it's like and I can say it like my guy is the best because in our matchups, my guy that's only 2 games out of 18 game season though. Well, 17 game season. Out of our matchups, my guy is the guy that usually ends up winning the game for us when we give him the ball. 4 minute offense, 3 minute offense, 2 minute offense. So my guy does get the best of the Eagles, but every game who's probably the like most used and gets to show that he's a productivity back and numbers probably has produced against everybody in the league consistently. Think about it, Zeus has been in the league for a couple of years now too, so I got enough years to really look at him and be like, yeah, he's the best back in the NFC East.
all right,
I won't be like that.
so the
I won't be
diaper
like that
Danny
forever.
Ruben Owens, you saying right now is playing better than Boone Jackson.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, when you play the Eagles twice this year and the Cowboys twice this year, give me, give me a, not the game highlight situation, but give me what those running backs meant to those two teams, and when you had to defend those two guys, those two teams running backs, what type of
Um,
pressure did they give you?
Well, Zeus, one of the games, I don't remember which one. I just remember like the way it went. One of the games, he was like an early down back. Like he was making it second and manageable, second and four, second and five, second and three. Even catching the ball out the backfield sometimes in zone or if in man if you were lacking off or if I was using the running back, wasn't afraid to throw it to him and make things happen. And then in the red zone, Zeus is Zeus. I ain't gonna lie, he's very productive in the red zone. But that Eagles offense is a pass first offense, so it's interesting how he finds his 12 to 18 carries versus me. How he kind of gets there. It's some out the gun, some single back, some I form. You know, he's an every down back for the Eagles, and he plays like such. Still able to catch the ball at the backfield. You know, well for a guy that really is good at running the football.
Now, Ruben Owens is playing for the same coaching staff that coached Joey Cummins to the all-time leading rusher and possibly the number one running back of all time in our league. Is he in good hands right now?
Oh, he's definitely in good hands. He's definitely in good hands. I would say he is a all-purpose back. He seems very like durable in the game. Like can take a lot of like form tackles, the double hit sticks because he might break the first one tank, but to come back with a double hit stick, he's got spin move, he's got jukes in his arsenal. Um, he's every bit of 205. I'll say that too. For a 205 back, this guy is fucking sturdy. He looks 205, but he's sturdy. Kind of like how like who's kind of a smaller back.
Like the muscle hamster.
Yeah, like kind of like that, even a little bit like that. Kind of like he kind of gives me that type of game. Stretch is lethal, power is exceptionally well, straight downhill running as well too. Like he can do a lot of things, and the coaching staff has him on kick return. I think punt return too. So they trust in what he can do. Like
They
just
building him. They making him that guy. He won't be on
yeah,
punt return and kick return too much longer, but
longer. But
they in the
he's like
process
you
of
should
building him.
trust him with that as a rookie season. Yeah, like I'm saying, and he was able to do somewhat impressive things as far as like just watching it. Like okay, that's a running back being able to get up out of there like that or do this like that. He's an impressive back from an underrated school for running backs in Texas. And then, like I said, being 205, like he's not really anything crazy jumping off paper, but he's very solid.
All right, Max. We had some interesting games last time we did our show. We had some interesting games, baby. Very, very interesting games that was going to decide some fates week 18. So we have to get into those conversations and talk about some of these games and these matchups that matter coming down the stretch. And we start off with the Giants and the Falcons game. All right, so this game, both of you guys are in the playoffs. Playoff positions could change with the outcome of this game on whether it was a win for the Giants or a loss for the Giants. Somebody's situation might change. Um, so important. Let's talk about you going into this game, your mindset, and being one game away from having home field advantage throughout the playoffs and having a first round bye. What was your mindset going into the game against the high flying offense of the ATL Falcons?
Um, to more so, the mentality was to finish strong for one. Since the Cardinals, we've been on our continuous winning streak. We fought games, fought them back from 17, 14, 21-3. We've been kind of comeback kids, and then we've had some games where we got out too. And I like the way that we play when we get out to a strong start. So that was the mentality, is to get out to a strong start and know that we're going against a passing team, which which puts certain people to the test that we like to see come playoff time. Pass rush was able to show up, and guys that we asked to make plays at different levels, made plays, and we was able to kind of capitalize on knowing our opponent, but not knowing our opponent. I think if we go into our game knowing our opponent too much, playing him a lot, probably overthink things and things like that, offensively and defensively. But being that T is newer to the league as far as a couple years, and then also we don't really even play that often because I played the 1 seed, so I play Craig, and not I've only played Craig's division maybe like once about 2 or 3 years ago. So it's not like we play often. I was able to just play the game, like adapt, read and react, make adjustments, knowing that we play in T, so we know how he plays. But like, you got
You're
to be able
playing
to
an
like
Atlanta Falcons team that got a certified quarterback, veterans at the receiver position, even at the tight end position. And
dog
they got
safety.
a dog safety that, when used, can be the best player in the league. Now, coming into that game, you had to deal with some things. So let's talk about this game because this was an important game. As you can see, the Giants pull out the dub and they keep home field advantage in the number one seed in this ball game. 376 yards. T had 411 yards total to get 376. He won that department, but you killed him on a run game, 171 to 48. Playoff football there. Playoff football.
Um,
205 yards passing to his 363. It's hard to stop a juggernaut offense like that throw the ball. The problem is 5 turnovers will get you a loss in a heartbeat when you're playing a top tier team. And that's what happened. The Falcons had 5 turnovers in this game. So let's talk about that for a second, Max. How did you force him into 5 turnovers?
some early baits. One with Reed, RC, Reed Carico, both state product. Just been making plays all year since his rookie year. Well, technical rookie year for us, like his red shirt rookie, fucking practice squad bug. Uh, Making plays early, and then just our capital draft guys. Honestly, like that's a draft player, and then Willis, that we drafted 2 years ago too. The guy that can move around from safety to linebacker. He was able to make plays early and give us short field position to establish that run game to just go ahead and put the game away
And
kind of
Bryce had
early.
104.9 QB rating, 229, a touchdown. But he had a 42% completion percentage in this game. He was sacked 3 times as well. Is that a concern to you? Or was that just the style of play you was coming with? It looked like you played, we're going to run the ball down this guy's throat. We're going to throw the ball when we have to. But 42% when you only had an 8 for 19, completed 19, well, attempted 19 passes, but 42%. How does that bother you going into the playoffs, or that's something you feel like you can fix, or you needed to
Um,
do that for this game?
a little bit of both. Some of these throws are throwing away because you see no picks, and that's just because I know who I'm going against. At any point, this offense, like we already explained, is high powered, can score very quickly, explosive. 21 points early a 21-point lead early with the right offense and dumb mistakes could easily come to 14, then 7, then oh
Right,
now you're tied, and then,
right.
so we throw the ball away as often as possible. That's why you see 3 sacks, which we're holding on to the ball to a point where we don't want to throw anything. As a great coach, a great user, knows how to run his defenses that allow him to be comfortable and possibly get a lot of majority of the people in the league with picks on the board. We were just able to move the ball and when we were comfortable, and then throw the ball when we weren't comfortable. Basically, no forced passes, and then
So he
some of
was a
those
game
incompletions.
manager at this point in this game, Bryce.
He was definitely a game manager. But once we got the early turnovers in the lead, that's what we're kind of asking for. We're not asking you to go out there and go put up superstar numbers in the last game of the season when we're up 21 to 20 or 27-7. We're asking you to finish the game and make sure we get the fucking win.
But
Period.
when we talking Monday football, I mean Monday quarterback football, these aren't great numbers for a guy like Bryce Young, who's catapulted himself into one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Uh,
They're not. I would say that
was this
defense though
scary
is
football? Was this knowing that safety back there controls the secondary, and was this safety plan where it was more like,
I
I
was
don't want to lose this lead. I don't want to do nothing stupid. We're not gonna take the chances we usually take in a
Not
game
even.
like
We
this,
took
playing that
we
type of
took
coaching.
chances. We had some of those drops. That's the other part I was getting to. Some of these are drops, flat out drops. Like taking shots, doing what we do. The person that we're playing is able to just click on though, contest for the football, click on, tackle us as we're catching the ball, so we drop it. Some of these are just flat out drops. I wouldn't even place this on Bryce. He was making some impeccable throws. We just had some drops, which is why I was saying I'm not concerned about Bryce as much as I'm concerned about
Well, he
uh,
stepped up in the run game. 5 carries,
So
62 yards,
exactly.
12
That's what I
points
said. I'm
there
not
at the
concerned
top.
about
Yeah.
Bryce. He really wasn't game manager. He took what was open because who we're going against. We're going against somebody that knows how to set up the field to take away the most majority of the routes, and then he uses a lot of the shit that you would like to throw to. So it's about patience with this guy. Uh, he's playing coverage defense more than blitzing you often than not. So it's about patience. You know what I'm
All
saying,
right,
like,
Patron Allen. For those that don't know who this running back is, what do you say about him to get them familiar with who he is? 15 carries, 95 yards, 6 yards a pop, 3 touchdowns in this ball game. He single-handedly took that defense on and challenged it and did his thing in this game. But who is Patron Allen?
um, he is. Interesting. I would say he's uh a potential like beast mode reincarnated. I call him beast mode because I've seen what he can do and how he can control a game. But uh yeah, he's a mini beast mode to me, a
Baby Beast
conductor
Mode. That's
because
what
he
we
can
calling
control.
him. I ain't mad at that.
I call him beast mode like that. That's a nigga 235. He is pound for pound all the 235. Runs hard. I solemnly believe the more carries I give him, the better he gets within the course of the game. And the way that the game is like, and the way that he's not really shying away from contact ever.
All right,
He's a
Keon Pitts had 3 catches for 148 yards, 49.3, and a touchdown in this game. Xavier Worthy stood up in this game and said, "I got 39.3 yards of pop as well." Why was Keon successful on his 3 catches to be able to get deep behind your secondary like that? What was going on in those
just some
moments?
matchups when Jaden Daniels still a very impressive quarterback within this offense. Just matchups, certain matchups against certain people that he was able to get a step or two on. Most of these catches he's not really running anywhere after the catch. He had one that he ran up under, but most of these catches are downfield throws, and he was tackled when he was caught. But this is still a liable receiver, a veteran receiver, um, a burner receiver. So when you don't got the right matchups on a burner, they get open, and that's just flat out what was
You
kind of
held their
happening.
number one receiver to 17 yards a catch on only three catches in this game. Who do you credit for that success to being able to stop him from really getting going crazy?
Uh,
Roderick
that
Smith.
goes that goes to Clark Phillips. Clark Phillips. We had he really more in breaking routes, so he was able to just kind of play a little off, technique, a little off man, a little 7 yard off kind of thing. Allow him to account for that size. You play those guys that are physical. You play them too close to the line, you get beat the hell up. Allowing him to be able to kind of just sit back and use his corner craft, use that craftsmanship to just allow him. Catches are going to be made. Um, as long as we keep him off the board, keep him under 100 yards, 70 yards, we can manage that within a video game and within our defense.
Manny Montana got to the quarterback, and so did Drew Atkinson got to the quarterback in this game. A few sacks in this game, but the real defense set is right here. Jerron Willis, man, wait a minute. This is not. Is he a full time starter? I know he's a tweener. He's gonna go between linebacker and
He's
safety.
full time
Three
sub, and
interceptions in
he
this game,
full
and
time.
your linebacker play was really good. RC had two as well. Is that user picks right there with RC?
Um, Both of those are user picks with RC. One of those is user picks with Willis, maybe two, honestly. Like that's why I said we got some good baits, but it's having these players in position to kind of know that they can do certain things. Willis plays strong, but a full time start as sub, and then Reed full time linebacker. Um, just knowing our matchups, just knowing what type of player we're going against, what he's looking for, just able to make some fortunate baits early and often in the game.
Hello. Okay. Can it get delivered? Yep. All right. Thank you. My bad, my bad, my bad. All right, so Max, your team has won this game, which gives you the number one seed this season, with one loss on the year to the Cardinals. You guys are gonna get a break. When we advance, your team will sit and watch, the rest of the NFC beat up on each other to figure out who your matchup will be in the divisional round. How important it is this year for you to have home field advantage and have that week one bye, especially playing the three young amigos on offense and still got some, at your offensive weapons is very young and playing in the playoffs. Each time, so most of them are only going to be in their second playoff game. How do you prep and how important it is for you not to have to play at advance?
Well, for the three amigos, I feel like it's good. Hurst, we go with the start on Hurst, the third amigo at the right tackle. He comes in, has a great fucking game, stellar game. Honestly, um, gets a week to like re-relax his body. Everybody gets a really week to relax their body after going continuously hard, trying to put on the best that we can since the Cardinals lost, to stay in the best position to get the one seed. So I definitely feel like it's deserved. Um, Home field advantage, via fuck Madden, they took away my snow. But coming to New York is definitely something that we're comfortable with. If you look at our thing this season, we beat most of the people that we needed to beat at home. Very big, big games, some big scores, some tight scores. We lost the game at home against the Cardinals, so that is our loss. But that's big for the fans.
Talking about
Big
the
for
fans, that New York fan base has been screaming. We've been interviewing and talking and letting those guys speak after your game against the Falcons, and they're starving. They're saying that they feel like this is the team to get them back to a Super Bowl, um, within this decade. So how do you feel about that? That your fans feel like this is the team? Do you feel like this is the team as well?
This is definitely one of the higher thought of teams for me, being the coach. Of course, we every year, want to go to the Super Bowl, but some years when you just know you got the pieces, you got the pieces. Kind of like a Tutta's rookie year, I knew that I was missing that running back to give me that feel that I needed during that playoff time. And sure enough, coming down the stretch, I built him for that, and he arrived for that in the playoffs and was able to get a Super Bowl win for us. And I think
So
we
you see
made that move for
similarities
Bryce.
there with the running back
Similarities with
Catrone stepping like the way that like it's almost like the same type of situation. Catrone is kind of to the house ish in a sense of the way he's starting to take over this team. Like when you've been at your best, your running back play has been at its best. Saquon Barkley to the house, and now you're dealing with Catrone Allen. So do you feel like this is the recipe to get
I
to where you
was
need to get to?
I would say that, and he's been here for this is his second, and then of course we put the receivers around Bryce. We had the receivers around Elijah, Cannon, Burris, um, Smith, and Ross. Maybe still
a
lingering. I don't
steady a
remember
steady receiving
Isaiah
core,
Ross. A steady receiving core.
because that was the conversation about your Giants team that your quarterbacks are still who they were. Like Manning was still who he was, but he just had so many different weapons to get used to because the weapons kept changing. But you kind of been steady and developing guys on your roster to either via trade. The rest of those guys has been handpicked by the New York Giants organization, and these guys are developing under your tutelage. So you feel like the
I
pieces
feel
are
like that's
there.
part of it. Yeah, that's why I feel like that's part of that. I feel confident in who we have around because we've been kind of keeping things a little bit closer knit than usual. People have still got to express their leave, but we've still been able to replace very quickly and orderly. Not all rookies in a sense. We feel like things like Worthy and Bobby Taylor and going to those are pieces that we needed to solidify certain positions. Staying consistent with our in smaller rooms like the tight end room and staying consistent with the linebacker room and our D line has been run stoppers the last couple of years, so staying consistent there and just building upon it and getting the Atkinson or a carpool when not injured wreaks havoc at 6'9", D tackle. And then adding the pieces that knowing the pieces that we drafted, a Reed, a Willis that can move to safety. He's playing great at safety, but we don't know that, and we don't get to do that without being in tune with our players for multiple seasons, kind of. So it is definitely paying dividend. And then like that little pop we needed with the Tutta back then, I believe the three amigos, the three Stooges at the O line, they might have been what we needed as far as a little burst here. It's a chance, just like a rookie running back is a chance, but they've been playing lights out all season, so it's a chance I'm willing to take.
So
A
you
chance I
expect
feel.
them to continue to play lights out in the playoffs, like because they've been doing it all year, really, for the most part.
I do expect them to play, you know, a grade wise, nothing less than the A minus. I mean, I expect a mistake. Mistakes happen. I expect the other team that we're going against to do their due diligence and put their best plays against what our best plays is, and sometimes defense wins plays. That's just the game of the football. So I
Well, there
think
you
that could
have it.
happen.
Those New York Giants, man, first place seed in the NFC, man. Congratulations, big win over the Falcons to solidify you having a home field advantage in the first round bye and on your road to the Super Bowl. Next up, we got the Eagles and the Bears. Look, man, Philadelphia went into Chicago, Soldier City, in the weather element. I don't know if it was snow on the ground, but we know it was cold as fuck in Chicago around this time. We know that for a fact. They went in there and beat the shit out of the Chicago Bears. Is this a statement game for the Eagles? I don't give a fuck who the opponent is. For them to finish their season off 51-18 victory, to be able to sit back and say, all right, let's see what happens with this Falcons team. We're going to slide. We're going to stay where we at. Who we preparing for? All I know is that it looks like this offense was on fire, and they got on fire late because this was a 10-10 game going into halftime. And then those Eagles soar. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, I would say
On a
definitely a
road to
statement. Trying to
victory.
keep the oiled machine going. Versus slowing down a little bit because it's a week 18. It looks like they took their approach of just keeping everybody going. That's going. So just
424 offensive yards gained. They won that department. They had 103 on the ground. They won that. They threw for 321 yards in the air. They won that. They did turn the ball over 4 times and still won this game. But I think those 4 turnovers contribute to them being 10-10 going into halftime. In my opinion, not being able to see this game or not, you can
I'm
tell
guessing
those
that
four
first half.
turnovers, first half situations, maybe one or two late. But the first half was probably what had them at tied ball game at halftime, and then they just turned it on. And I'm assuming that turn on starts with the one kid that we all sit here and like, and that's 111.1 QB rating, 321 yards, 6 touchdowns. Now, are the 4 interceptions concerning me?
To with that DT.
Yep,
How many touchdowns did he throw?
6 of them bitches.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet 3 happened in the first half and 1 happened in the second half. So no, not really. It's
13
concerning
for
in the sense of
19,
in the
68%.
force. You don't have to throw 3 first half picks to anybody. You're kind of forcing it, and that's not something with just DT. That's coaching staff, play calling. Because how many carries did Zeus have?
10 carries at 93 yards, 9.3 yards a pop, and a touchdown. Really, if they wanted to give him the ball, he could have dominated this
I'm
ball
like,
game.
yeah, with 10 carries and 93, why not give him 15 and you probably have a pick less or 2?
Yes,
Just my
sir.
thoughts.
Now let's look at that wide receiver core, man. You got a bunch of 5 stars running around here, right? Evan Stewart showed up, 5 catches, 201 yards. Man, averaged 40 yards a catch, 4 touchdowns. So literally, 4 out of his 5 catches went to the crib. I mean, what are we seeing right now? Are we seeing evolution here? Are we seeing something special? I mean, is something
I
special
mean, Evan
brewing
Stewart's
in
definitely been.
Philadelphia?
Yeah, no, I mean they've been putting together. I think it's just all coming together because they're being consistent names. Zeus, the Evan Stewart, DT's been there. It's seeming like they're high time for a playoff run. It's just, man, when you go out and you start the season hot and then end it kind of sketch and then you turn it back up a little bit, it's kind of like what information are you going to get from your team? Which
This
part of
is
your
what I
team
know.
are you in?
DT is comfortable with Evan Stewart. He's their number 1 receiver. Their number 2 receiver had 2 catches. He only had 35 yards, but he had a touchdown. But the guy that I'm surprised about right now, and I think that nobody's paying attention to, is out of Ohio State, is Ty Lockwood, the tight end, the type of dandy. 3 catches, 45 yards, 15 yards a pop, and a touchdown in this game as well. These guys got weapons to throw the ball to, and Juice can catch the ball out the backfield as well. I like this Eagles offense. I think it's high flying. And I'm going to go on a statement and say this. Is this a top 5 or top 10 offense in our league right
Eagles, I would say top. I might say top 10. I might say top 10 actually. It could be top 5 at moments, but top 10, no doubt.
now? When you are trying to, make a statement and getting yourself ready to go into that playoff game that you're gonna have to play, it starts right here. The Eagles looking like, after losing uh, their D tackle in the trade to the Ravens, it was like, where are we at with this team? But look, Sebastian Cheeks from the outside linebacker, 4 sacks. Cameron Thomas, who I always thought was a sleeper player for this team, that was one of the better pass rushers they have. He had 3.5 sacks. We got Demonte Capehart, who, in my opinion, is part of the reason why they were comfortable to go in a different direction as far as D tackle wise, because he's a dog, flat out. He was the number 3 best D tackle in the draft when they drafted him 3 years ago. 2.5 sacks in this game as well, and then they got a corner from the slot position coming off the slot. He got 2 sacks in this game, and then you're looking at another D tackle who is young, 1 year experience, 6'6", 200 pounds, had a sack and a half as well. That's a lot of pressure that they put on a Bears team, who we know have a West Coast style offense. So usually the Bears are letting the ball go fast because they throw a lot of slant drag concepts in their offense. What the hell is going on in Philadelphia for that D line to get this type of pressure? We haven't seen this type of pressure, D line type of play from the Philadelphia Eagles since 1992 when they had Reggie White, Jerome Brown, those type of players, where they had that craziest defense in the league right now. Are we seeing this? Are we seeing the birth of that type of style of play, the old Philadelphia defenses of the '90s? Are we seeing that step up
They're
right now with
definitely
getting to this
secure on
pressure?
the run stop. The quarterback, to get into the quarterback is a little like, uh,
I mean, Zion Branch had a
excuse me.
sack in this game as
I
well.
think it's a little inconsistent. Though. I think you get games like this where they're effective against the quarterback, and then I think some of the bigger games they get killed because their inability to get to the quarterback. But their run stopping ability to me has been something that they've got significantly better. When they drafted Jordan Davis, it got better, and then honestly, when he left, it didn't really drop to me. In
Yeah, it didn't. Because they had the pieces. They had,
yeah, my personal games playing them, it never. And I told him that, I told the coach that I was like, I'm thinking, we actually might run less. We might run less successfully now than we did then. Almost like it's not that Jordan
well,
Davis was the
well.
problem.
I
It
mean,
just might be a different.
let's not act like he wasn't a dog. at
Yeah,
all,
it
right?
might just be a
But
different
but
Joe when he
but but
left.
the thing is, this team got more athletic. Like he was a big body player that clogged up place space and
And
got
he
those
started the
linebackers
trend
people.
for the next 2 or 3 drafts for that
Yes,
for
sir.
that front seven.
Yes, sir. But what they did was they got more athletic at the defensive tackle position, and I think that's helping them in the run game.
Yeah, because
When
them
you get
boys,
fast and athletic at that, you know, they got them 6'6", 300 pounds. The other guy like 315, and they're very agile and they can move around. They can do things because they don't have to stay at the D tackle position. They can move outside and rush from the edge. They got those type of players. I think the moment they're starting to find, I don't know if they did it in this game. You got to look at that game and see all the damn sacks they had in this game, and think one thing: are they figuring it out how to get to the quarterback? I'm quite sure we have to go back and look at their last 3 or 4 games to see if it's a trend or they just teed off on the Chicago Bears. What do you think? Trend or they just teed off on the Bears?
I would debate that the run stopping is a trend. The teeing off, depending on who they played, if they played any runners or like any Protest runners, then not a lot of quarterback play. But one thing about the Bears that we know is they're not scared to throw the football. So
They don't care about turnovers either. They're not scared. They let their quarterback fight through those turnovers. That's why you see. And not for nothing. Malachi Nelson didn't throw a lot of interceptions. He only threw one.
oh wow,
83.4%, 226 yards. He only threw one pick, threw a touchdown and a pick. But he was sacked 15 times, bro. It looked like the Baltimore Ravens defense.
my God,
Oh my God. 15 sacks in a game, bro. Their
my
quarterback is
God,
in the ice tub right now.
he's still sitting there.
hmm he like all I want is Starbucks coffee right now. Somebody bring it. That's what he's texting on the phone right now. Somebody bring me Starbucks. I need a chocolate. You motherfucker sacked me 15 times. What the fuck? All right, the Eagles, man. What are the NFC dealing with the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs? Whether they're going to be the seventh or sixth seed, what does the Eagles bring to the postseason?
Um, I would say the Eagles are like a snake, like in the sense of like a snake in their habitat. You could walk past it and maybe overcome it and just be on the snake. But if you if you fold wrong or hold long, them snakes they strike fast, they strike quick, and they can catch you off guard. Um, Sometimes play a little bit of camouflage too. And I feel like the Eagles at this point they've been taking all this information for the last couple of years. They've been a little bit more consistent in the last 6 years in the playoffs and the first 6 years of the league. I think they're just they're about a playoff win away from being able to maybe put something away, put something together, and really put some people on their heels. And as far as like, okay, I don't know what I'm about to get with this Eagles team production wise within the game. You might know what they're gonna do,
Does
whatever,
this
but
team have a serious shot of getting to the dance?
I wouldn't put it above like the odds above like 50. So I don't know how serious that would be. I'd give them like if I has odds.
It's the playoffs match. Somebody's going to be upset, and somebody's going to play longer than they expected to play. Can that be the Philadelphia Eagles?
Depends on who they play. I gotta see it after this advance. I think the Eagles. Think the Eagles, and I mean before we even get to the AFC in a sense, I think the Eagles and the Browns are two teams that can kind of catch some teams off guard this season, and
I'm gonna be
maybe
honest with you. In the AFC, I'm gonna keep it 100. In the AFC, in my opinion, Texans, Broncos, Raiders, and Browns
can
all
you say
have
the
a.
Texans are really a surprise though? They're a 2 seed.
I'm not. Nah, they're not 2C no more. We're gonna get into that.
Oh, they lost. Yeah,
They
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
able to finish strong, man.
yeah.
They wasn't able to finish strong, and them Broncos finished 12 strong, and I'll talk about that in a second. All right, so the Buccaneers and their quarterback went into Carolina and put up 59-17 in their ball game. The Ravens went into Junkyard's little pistol offense and tore their asses up 73-6. And you want to talk about sack fest? The Ravens has been sacking quarterbacks for the last 4 games at a high rate. Every game we've played lately has been 13, 15, 17 sacks. We just sending that shit. We don't give a fuck. Blitz. You know how you got the X factor on one of your D linemen and it's blitz, and every time you get on fire, like blitz, blitz, blitz. That's how we fucking coming. All right, so the Browns handled their business. They took care of the Bengals, completely tearing their chances of getting in the playoffs. took that right out the way. They needed that. They needed this win and some help from some other teams to lose. But the Browns went in. But they talked about Corral. You didn't know who Corral was. Let's step into this game for a second and let's look at it and let's honestly see what Corral been doing, because I think he's the key to whatever the Browns are going to do in these playoffs. He's the key to that. 128.5 QB rating, 291, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. All right, now Butterfield usually gets sacked like crazy. 15.6 QBR ain't gonna cut it. 53 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So Matt Corral showed up in this game, as well as Sawchuck had 33 carries. See, when the Bengals played the Ravens a week ago and we sacked the shit out of them all game long, he decided I'm running the football. They got a running back over there that can handle the load, man. I mean, 33 carries for 203 yards. You would have thought that's status, right? That's status to be able to make it a good game. But he ain't getting the end zone on them carries though. So that was a lot of carrying with no production outside of 6.2 yards of carry right now in that game. This is my concern about the Cleveland Browns. Brian Robinson Jr. 14 carries, 69 yards, 4.9. They haven't had a run game since Moody, in my opinion. Do you think they made a mistake going to Brian Robinson?
Um, kind of, but I haven't. I mean, they're running back underneath. Hold on.
They got a rookie. They got a diaper dandy that I think at
That
230
is what
pounds
I
is going to be
thought.
a problem. But he's not ready yet, and that's why they're
He's
not
not.
playing
That's
him.
why I'm like, I just can't really say it was a mistake, because if you feel like he wasn't ready, then it's probably a justifiable reason why he wasn't ready. So I mean, it's just um, maybe honestly,
Slow
it's not
down.
Brian Robinson.
Well, he had 100 yards total, 100 yards. He had 9 catches, 71 yards, 7.9 yards a pop. The tight end had 3 catches, 55 yards. Keys had a catch for 46 yards, 1 touchdown. That was pretty solid. Uh, Peyote had 2 catches, 43 yards. Jordan Addison had a touchdown in the game. I think they're fighting between Addison and Keys to be who's the number one receiver over there. Again, Brian spread it. I mean, their quarterback Matt Corral spread the ball around to numerous receivers. A whole bunch of guys touched the football in this game, um, which is pretty much cool. Like this is their style of play, right? You're not gonna see big yardage out of a lot of them. What you're going to see is production out of a lot of players on this team. He spreads the ball around because of that West Coast offense. So I think it works. You know what I mean? But my question to you is, do you need more production from out of a key player for this Browns offense, whether it's the quarterback, the running back, or a receiver? Do you think you need bigger play for them to be successful in the playoffs?
Um, somewhat yes. At least not all of them. Some, like, there needs to be an undeniable person.
They
Sometimes
have to be. They have to find out who's their actual number one receiver. Is it
one,
Keys?
yeah, their
Is
number
it
one
Addison?
receiver.
Or is it the tight end that was first overall pick? Uh, Damn near 10 years ago, and Zach Wheatley. Somebody needs to step up and be that guy that threatens the defense. That's something that we have to pay attention to and worry about, whether it's B. Robinson Jr. or one of these receivers. But shout out to the Browns. They held their situation down. They just waiting to see what happens in advance to see who they match up with. As we go down the keys, Seahawks 21, Raiders, the Rams 55. That's a big win for the Rams. Texans Broncos, big time game right here. This is the game that decides the Texans' fate. Are they playing number two and playing a worse seeded team in the playoffs and chilling and waiting to get to it with this young ass offense they got over there? Or is that this? I mean, this is a matchup of two very young teams that are dependent on young pieces to be big time players and big time moments, and stages that they're really not used to yet. So the Texans Broncos matchup, you see the score. Broncos went at home, won that game 49-35. I mean, they were in a shootout match. I mean, to me, this says the Texans is absolutely for real this year. Um, but is this a testament to the Broncos and Coach Jimbo's coaching, or what? Let's dig into this
Definitely.
game and see what's going
To
on
me,
here. Look. Before we get into anything right now, let's just look at 571 yards, 520 yards. Both these teams went crazy on offense. All right, 171 yards from Johnny the Factor back Martin, but then there's Baxter. He told y'all, man, Dr. Baxter had 276 yards, offensive yards for the Broncos. He had to contribute to that. We looking at a diaper dandy who's playing like
what
he's
the
been in the
fuck
league for
is
5 years,
this?
bro.
What
Now,
the fuck is this?
offensive passing yards, 400 for the Texans, 244 for Shador and the Broncos. 13 first downs to 17 turnovers. 3 to 0, and obviously that's the difference of the ball game, right? There's no way you can't say that's not. The Texans had 3 turnovers. The Broncos didn't turn the ball over at all.
Yeah, Cedric Baxter was responsible for 300
Look,
yards
bro, is it
offense.
time to start giving Shador Sanders his flowers? This guy had a perfect QB rating in this game. 255 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was sacked twice, and he was perfect on the game. But look, Eli Stowers is showing something. I mean, we got 2 young quarterbacks that really stepping up and showing that they ready to go. 116.2, 400, 2 and 2. I'm not mad at that. It was only sacked 1 time. You're looking at both of these stats: 13 for 16 for Shador Sanders, 14 for 18 for Eli Stowers. I mean, these guys are flinging the ball 81%, 77%. This is the quarterback battle right here. This is what you want to see. 2 teams that line up. I mean, 16 attempts, 18 attempts, but they were throwing the ball at a high level and accurate as fuck in this game. Very accurate in this game. What do you got to say about these 2 quarterbacks?
Um, Shit. I mean, honestly, I'm waiting to see what both of their playoff experiences will be like. Kind of different style quarterbacks, different builds, but within their offense, I think they go perfectly with kind of their offenses. Truly, like,
This was great performance by both these quarterbacks. One of them had to leave. Shador was Sanders willed his team into not leaving. Eli Stowers played spectacular though. Like you can't ignore the type of game this guy had, and it seemed like he's catching fire down the stretch right now. In his ball game, the passing game, the quarterbacks are showing. These young quarterbacks are showing they're ready now. One in their going in their 4th season at the end of this year, will be in their 4th year, and one is coming in his 2nd year right now, and they're putting up numbers and doing what they're doing. I like these 2 quarterbacks. I think they starting to get it over here, man, and that's about to be scary. You looking at the Texans, he's understanding his weapons and what he got around him, and that quarterback looked good. And Shador Sanders is making it happen out there in Mile High, right? This is crazy. I like it. And then you get to the run game right now. This man gave his running back 29 carries. I spoke upon this when we thought, the Bills and the Broncos were matched up, la 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 la, and I spoke upon this. How do you feel about Cedric Baxter is showing he don't give a fuck if he a rookie. He's showing that, listen, I'm that guy. I mean, 29 carries, goddamn, right? But he had 8.8 yards a carry. This guy averaged 9 yards a pop in this game. And then Johnny Martin, both these backs is fighting to say, like, we're recognize who we are. We really those guys. Both from the big backs, same size, right? 6'1", 230, 5'10", 230. And they're both factor backers, right? 3 touchdowns apiece. They both showed up and showed off in this game. Now we're looking at 2 quarterbacks, 2 young quarterbacks and 2 young running backs going toe to toe, and one had 7 yards a pop, the other one had 9 yards a pop. They both had 3 rushing touchdowns. Jesus Christ, I don't think neither one of these 2 teams. I mean, they got to see each other again in the playoffs. Holy shit! I mean, Max, looking at the stat line right now, from the quarterback play to the running back play. I mean, are you feeling how I'm feeling? I'm a little amazed by this.
this not. I'm in the verse. This was an amazing game. I'm looking at the receiver. I've already looked at this. This game was a game. Like, I'm kind of mad I didn't get to watch this game.
But look, with all the carries, 29 from one, 22 from the other one, this wasn't no pussy game. Like no scared. Let me just line up and run the fucking ball at you so I don't make no mistakes. These motherfuckers played the game. Like they played football. It was coaching going on in this game. This wasn't
Yeah, this is a good game.
relying on the video game and the perks of the video game and understanding what you could take advantage of. And this was line up and whatever you doing, I'm countering that shit. And if this is working for you, I got to do something to stop it. And if you know what I mean, this is 2 football minds standing across the 50 yard line. One is on the other side of the field, the other one on the other side of the field. And they looking at each other and pacing, writing notes and shit. All right, I see what you're doing this quarter, motherfucker. I got something for you. This is the type of game I see with just looking at the offensive stats from quarterbacks to running backs. I ain't even get to the receivers yet, but it looked like to me that these motherfuckers was really in each other's head.
Hmm. This was a
This
good
you don't
game.
get this in no other league, my boy. I mean, this is what our league is about right here. Take all the scenarios out and the bullshit that Madden do. Take that out and let us play a good football game. Coach on coach, mano on mano. My team versus your team. Whose weapons is gonna make plays? Simple as that. And you got to see if we watch this game over right now. That's what you're gonna see in this game. Mano y mano, coaching on coaching. Talk to me, Max. What do you think?
I think this is gonna be. I think these two teams is gonna be interesting in the playoffs. They look like they have everything going right.
How scary
First,
can they be? Both teams. How scary can they be in the playoffs?
I feel like either one of them could be in the AFC Championship.
Yes, sir. I agree. I definitely agree.
I could see both of them. I could see like either one of them. Like I could see Texans versus Broncos versus small percentage chance that this could be another matchup in the AFC Championship. The AFC does have one consistency. They always have the surprise. Y'all always have a surprise loss. Somebody always surprises
Man, don't speak on that shit right
you.
now for me. I don't want
somebody
to hear that.
always,
But you're 100% right, though.
somebody.
Somebody does something that they wasn't expected to do.
It happens in the
Every
AFC way more
season, bro.
often than
Damn
the
it, every
NFC. In
season,
the
yo.
NFC, it's only happened like once, twice. I think that we had upset, or even just like a 4-5, where it was like, oh wow, like wow, shit,
And
yeah.
because of that, and because you're making that statement, that's why I think, in my opinion, that's why I think both of these two teams are hot at the right time. I don't think this loss kills the Texans. They did too
At all.
much.
No, no. And I mean, they only lost the game in the fourth. They were tied. Literally, fourth quarter is 7-21. That's where they lost to 14 points, which I'm willing to bet 14 points sounds like two turnovers, which means you probably threw those picks at the end. That's my
Yeah,
guess.
I mean, don't that ain't that what it look like?
Yeah,
Look like that to
that's my
me.
guess. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's my guess, which means it just comes down to execution at the end. He played a looked like he played a damn good game.
Fucking hell of a game. Let's look at the receiver play. All right, so Marvin Harrison Jr., somebody that we've like damn near forgot about. 5 catches, 124 yards. Quandre Harrison, you're 6'5", you're 6'4" guy, one shit. So can mine. He had 2 catches and a touchdown, 53 yards. Tight end, four catches from their tight end. Zachary Branch, 45.5 yards a pop. We expect that, right? Out of the baby Tyreek Hill, we expect him to go deep. 2 catches,
Hmm.
91 yards, bombs away, and a touchdown. David Bell, 1 catch, 79 yards. Now, this is unexpected from a player like David Bell. Usually in a game like this, he's somewhere between 8 to 10 catches. Um, and today he wasn't the guy at all. He just, he walked by. He had a walking waddle moment, 1 for 79 and a touchdown. But they didn't need David Bell today. When you look at the running back, Johnny Martin caught the ball 4 times out the backfield. Thornton had 2 catches for 43 yards. Baxter out the backfield, 4 catches, 41 yards, 10 yards to pop and a touchdown as well. Their tight end wasn't really effective in this game for the Broncos, but what you saw a couple of guys touch the ball in this game. And it was the Marvin Harrison show, honestly, offensively. It was the Marvin Harrison show as a receiver, and Baxter took this game over completely with 4 total touchdowns in this game. When you look at the Texans offense, Quandre Harrison had a touchdown in this game. The tight end was big, 4 catches for 98 yards. Zachary Z Branch had 2 catches, 91 yards, and a T. Martin caught the ball at the back with Thornton had 2 catches too. So, I mean, looking at what we seeing from running back, quarterback, and receivers, the stat line right now, they both were. This was a fucking ball game, man. This could have possibly been one of the games of the year, bro.
Yeah, like
They
this is a
went the
ball
fuck
game.
crazy in this game, man. Now defensively, let's look at the Texans, see what they did. They come into the league into this game with the number one cornerback in the league right now, as far as interception wise, and the way he's playing. They got good play from everywhere. They got the HBCU brothers all over that defense, along with some good safety play right now. Tackle for losses, a few guys had them. Sack wise, how many times they got to Shador? Only twice, and that's one of the HBCU kids, Jason Dumas, the D tackle. Tyrone McKay had 1 sack as well. Interception wise, wasn't none thrown. They didn't get any. But the Broncos show up and what they do, how many times they get to the quarterback. And for them to only give up 3 total sacks as a unit, both teams total, 3 total sacks, right? With two young quarterbacks like that, bro, like they were in their bag, bro. They were in there. Is this the players stepping up or is this the coaching?
I think a little bit of both.
I
Staying
agree. I
within their
agree.
play calling because they both call proficient passing offenses, so there could be regular cover busts that just happen. Good play call against bad play call. Design design deep shot plays. That's what I believe is Akari Brands is design deep shot plays,
Hmm.
and then there's just I dialed some shit up and it just worked. So
Young young Kamari Robinson nephew, you know what I mean? Little nephew had 8 tackles in his game and an interception. He stepped up, diaper dandy out of Duke, from Florida to Duke. You know what I'm saying? Uh, this is Jimbo's little nephew, real life nephew. And he's a 4-star cornerback. He might be 3 right now, but I think he has another year, 23 class. I think he's going to move up to a 4-star before it's all said and done. But he had an interception in this game, and that would brings me to my next conversation. This team is very young in the secondary. So, are you surprised that the Texans, Eli Stowers, had a 400-yard day in this game because of the young secondary, or did they go above and beyond, or is expected because there's nothing but youth all over that secondary?
I would say the yard is expected. There's nothing but youth, really, and the simple fact that these are still good coaches, good offensive minded coaches. Both of them are, I would say, offensive mind. Jimbo still is more balanced, but he's offensive minded to me, more so. So two offensive minded coaches where, you know, they gonna they gonna put some stuff on the field to figure some
Wait,
things out.
Brandon, not my bad. Brandon, what's wrong with Antonio? That I wasn't focused because of Antonio. I hope ain't nothing wrong with it. I know he had a surgery and shit. Everything good? Listen, ball game. This is a ball game. I'm gonna tell you like this: the Texans is scary because if they can figure out, look, what they did was they drafted a quarterback, drafted a running back, put a couple of linemen around that running back. They kind of revamped that wide receiver room because although Quandre is still playing, he is getting up there in age. So they added some weapons around that too. Some guys that's not even playing yet. They redshirting right now. But to me, this is scary. The Texans are getting hot at the right time. I told you the pieces they got over there, they're flying in that receiving room. If they can put it all together, and they started off with Johnny Martin last year, letting him run them to some wins. And now Eli Stowers they took the handcuffs off of him and they allow him to play football. I think he's comfortable with his weapons right now. This Texans team is very scary, and to me, the right matchups in the playoffs, they can be sitting in that AFC Championship game in a couple of weeks. And the way the Broncos are running the football right now, and the more Shador gets hot, this is another team that could be playing. And man, look, I like it. Shout out to those two coaches, man. Way to show us a real football game through stat line. I wish I could have seen it. Oh my God. Cowboys take care of the Lions 37-36. Lions lose that game 3 times. They tried to play. Somebody internet was terrible. And that's that. Dolphins take care of the Titans 41-31. Let's go look at the Dolphins stat line for a second. Let's just look at their quarterback play for the most part. See what Felix Harper did: 118.8 QB rating, 293 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Cunningham was flinging that thing: 99.3, 345, 3 cheats, but he had 3 picks in that game as well. What happens in the run game over here? 5 carries from the quarterback, 7 carries from their running back. They was on throw mode for sure. That Dow had a little DD, had 8 carries for 55 yards, 6.9 in the cheat, and to the house, 3 yards of carry and a touchdown over there. So that was that offensive stat. Let's see what they did defensively, both teams, because they both got good secondaries right now. Let's see what the INTs look like. All right, Taheeb still had 2. Daxton Hill had a pick, and Javier Rivers had an INT in this game as well. And the Dolphins are solidified, I think. I think they're in a good situation. I don't know what seed they are, but we'll check it out in a second to figure out where they at right now. Football team goes in the Chargers. Cardinals 49ers, big time game. All right. This game came down to the winner is the division winner right here, Max. Right or wrong?
Um, which game?
49ers and the Arizona
Oh
Cardinals.
yeah, yeah, divisional winner.
The
Yeah, because they
winner of
both
this
got good
game would have been the
X's, no
divisional
Y's.
winner in this game right here. So you
Yeah.
know we got to go dig into this right now. Let's see what happens in the Cardinals out there in the West right now. So we went to San Francisco, California, Santa Clara to be exact, to get a 48-31 ball game. It looked like they was on rock mode right now. But the Cardinals went off in the second quarter, 24 points there. Let's look at it. 543 yards while their quarterback was fighting for MVP. He had to show up and show off this game. 543 yards, 420 total. 225 in the run game, 110 in the run game, 318 in the pass game, 310 in the passing game for the 49ers right now. The Cardinals are for real as a running team this year right now. Facts or fiction? I mean, are we looking at the best running team in the league this year with the Arizona Cardinals, Max?
Um, kind of gotta give him definitely top two. I think they were short of the touchdown lead, but they did finish with the most yards, and the way that they did it, that's why I would say that they might be the best this year.
Cardinals turned the ball over twice. 49ers turned the ball over 4 times. Stat line, let's get to it right now. 109, 100.9 for Nico. 318 yards, 6 touchdowns. He was trying to solidify. I mean, this was MVP stats right here. 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, no sacks. All right, AR 15, 97.9 QB rating, 340, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Let's talk about that right now. Anthony Richardson. To close out the season in a dogfight, because this wasn't a blowout by any means. This was a dogfight. It looked like it came down to the end of the game for real with this team. Do you have respect for AR-15 right now?
I feel like it's growing as of like I think 2 seasons, maybe last season. It's growing. Um, I don't know if he's a, I don't know if he might be still right outside like a top 10 for me in the league, but I feel like he's growing.
I mean, this running back, Cameron Harris, snuck up on us. Nobody really knew him, cared about him, and he sat on that roster and developed. And even when he thought he had the chance to be the starter when Israel was traded, they drafted Wheatley, and they thought he would be tomorrow. Wheatley would be the starter for this team. But Cameron Harris been averaging 8 point something yards a carry, and in this game he had 12.7 on 16 carries. That's very hard to do. Uh, when you used to see stats like this from the Cardinals, they won 4 straight Super Bowls. Well, not 4 straight, but they won 4 total Super Bowls. When their running back was coming out of games with 15.1 yards a carry. Why are they successful in running the ball this year?
My fault. I'm responding to a text.
You good? My question was, why are Cameron Harrison having a year like this, and why are the
Oh,
Cardinals
um,
successful running the ball this year?
just
Is
staying
it because of the
consistent with
passing
him.
game? Is it back to
Passing
that
game,
though?
it's back to that. Like people would excuse that, but I feel like if you play him, you see that he gives him more opportunities as a true running back as well than he usually would, or until like I said, like this brings it back to like the hits Israel days. People respect the passing always because of the coach and the players that he has, but he doesn't come out there and not just flat out run the football and let his running back be great. And I think that with hits Israel is coming back to play with Cameron Harris. He's just letting them be a running back sometimes, not a
Right.
distraction, but a running back with a purpose. And
Like
that's what's kind of
he not. I'm running the ball just to buy some time or
throw
just
you
because.
off a
Now
little
he's
bit.
running with a
He's still
yeah, he's
used
running
to
with a
that, but he
purpose.
runs with a purpose. Like I'm running the
Yeah,
ball and it's down. So here's my guy. Stop him.
right. Now in the receiving game, the tight end Eric Gilbert. Some guys, I mean, we tend to forget about tight end Eric Gilbert and who he was from the time he came out. And he's still getting it done in Arizona right now. 8 catches, 128 yards, 4 touchdowns. Tight end average, 16 yards a catch. That's tight end numbers. He just put me in the tight end situations this game. Cornell Tate, man, and this is the player that the Cardinals really wanted to draft. Niners got him. 3 catches, 121, 40 yards a catch. We know he's going to be special, man. This kid is, one of the top 3 receivers in the draft class ago. But Malachi Wideman is the best receiver in the league right now. Hands down, flat out, best receiver in the league. You got guys like Brew McCoy, who I think that, you can argue with that. Deion Smith, you can argue with that, but Malachi Wideman is flat out. Game in and game out, these are the numbers. 6 catches, 101, 106 yards, 17.7 yards a pop. He was a possession guy in this game. Like, he wasn't the throw me a bomb, I run up under that shit. Might have had one of those, but he looked like he was able to move the chain 6 times this game. And then there's the other guy, the number 2 receiver in this year's draft, Jonte Cook, the second. 3 catches, 34 yards a pop, and a touchdown. He went dummies in this game. The Niners held on. They played good football, but not good enough to win the game. I don't know if you was on headset with Falk while he was playing this game. What happened in this game? How was the 49ers played the game that they
I,
played? It looked like they
I was
scared
on
the
headset
scared
to
the
the
Cardinals.
end.
You wasn't?
I was on headset to I was on headset to the end of the game.
Okay. In the 14-7 fourth quarter, uh, Cardinals pull it out. I mean, 3-10 first quarter, 24-7, big quarter for the Cardinals there. They tied in the third, and then the Cardinals 14-7 in that game. All right, so with this loss, does this hurt the 49ers going into the playoffs, or do you think they can reboot, reset, and get it together? Me personally, I think the 49ers are in good space depending on who they play. And if they're, if they're still playing that Lions matchup, to me, I
That's the
think
best
that's,
game you can ask for.
yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. Defensively, what happened in this game? Let's look at the Cardinals defensively and see what's going on. All right, so we're looking at, it wasn't a lot of sacks in this game. Yes, it was. Tyreek Smith with two, Justin Flo with a sack. Let's talk about Justin Flo for a little bit. Is Justin Flo uh, underachieving, under the radar, or is he Justin Flo?
Um, I would say a little bit under the radar because of the name, but
I mean, he touched the
not
stat line
everybody
today:
can.
five tackles,
Yeah,
one tackle for loss, one sack, one interception.
not
Um,
everybody can come into the league and fill the shoes of Isaiah Simmons
mhm.
or a motherfucking Von Taylor. It takes some time, or it takes a collection of different linebackers, and you realize, okay, then there's an emergence. And I think Justin Flo is just now really having his feet sunk into the ground as a linebacker
He's breaking
in the
out now.
National Football League.
And,
Yeah,
and the problem is he's the name that, the moment he get drafted, he step on the field and he's that guy. He wasn't able to do that in Arizona. He had to wait his time in Arizona. And then he played through some injuries early on too. Coming out of college, he was injured a lot and it lingered. So it took him a little bit longer to really become that guy. But the complexity of what the Cardinals do at the linebacker position, especially the middle linebacker, wasn't the fit for Justin Flo. Like they grabbed Justin Flo because they had to. He was that guy. He was the prestige. He was the name. Since he was a diaper dandy, since he was a baby, it's been Justin Flo. The conversations with him. So the moment they had an opportunity to draft him, they're going to draft him. But this linebacker isn't the prototypical linebacker that the Cardinals usually have as a middle linebacker. The transition from Isaiah Simmons, who's an athlete, who's a cover guy, really, who could play safety or anything, either or. He was that type of linebacker, and they adjusted their defense to that, where he, led the league in career interceptions with Isaiah Simmons, right? But Justin Flo is a run stopper, a knock your head off. He's a throwback linebacker, and the Cardinals don't ask their linebackers to be that the type of player. They ask their linebackers to be able to cover the field and take pick sixes to the house and come out of games with 4 and 5 interceptions. And that wasn't his game, but he's transitioned. Took him a little while, but he's transitioning. So do you think, we will see better Justin Flo as we continue to go?
yeah. I think it starts with this playoffs. See what he does in the playoffs, honestly, and then that'll be the staple kind of for next season.
For the Cardinals to take it back to the Super Bowl, Justin Flo gonna have to be an animal. He's gonna have to find a way to be Isaiah Simmons in a way, some way. He's gonna have to be able to be Justin Flo and the attributes that he has and the way he play that way and play that way at a high level, but also transform yourself to be able to play the type of linebacker that the Cardinals need. For them to be as dangerous as they want to be on defense. We're good. It was one possession in the fourth and threw two picks, one pick six, or could have been, but he stopped at the goal line for his tight end to score. Uh, So it really came down to an INT. They good. All right, cool. All right, so look, the Cardinals won that game, man. Just a few weeks ago, they had the number one seed until they met the Bucks and the Ravens. The Ravens game ain't really kill them. The Bucks game did though, killed them and knocked them out of the first seed. But I think they still comfortable in the playoffs. Now it's all about who their real true matchup is going to be in the playoffs, and we're going to find out now. I already turned injuries off, so we're going to advance soon. But I want to make sure I ain't missing something. Yep, that was it. All right, so the Raiders gets the win, cool. Bills get the win, cool. Packers, Vikings don't matter. Everything else is set. Injuries are off. Let's advance, and we get to talk about awards, things like that, and matchups after we advance. All right, so here we go, man. We right back into the offs again, man, and the postseason. This time, this postseason will not take forever to fucking be played. I'll tell you that right now. We getting into it. We're advancing early. Let's get to it. So the advance is happening now. And let's go look at the awards ceremonies, and then from there we'll look at the matchups in the playoffs. All right, so let's get to it. Awards, stats, and awards right now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
These matchups. The green
Don't
piece of
talk about it
paper.
yet. I don't want to see it. Don't talk about it yet. All right, so congratulations to Joe Judge. This is his fifth Coach of the Year.
Yes, sir.
All right, congratulations to Joe Judge. Wins Coach of the Year once again right now. He wins Coach of the Year right now. Let's look at the MVP right now. Oh my God, Peter Woods wins the NFL MVP. We have a defensive player winning that. Wait a minute. Hey. Let's go. Peter Woods on this 6 sack performance. Let's get it. Oh my God, Max, we got a defensive player to win the MVP.
Wow.
Is this the first time we ever seen this shit happen? Jesus Christ. See, nobody know
Yep.
who the fuck Peter Woods is but me, right? And Hitter, and I guarantee Jimbo know who he is. He know all the college players, high school players, and all that shit. Yo, we took a defensive end to me who was the best, second best pass, maybe the second best defensive player in that draft. We do know Shamar Stewart was the guy a couple of drafts ago that went to the football team. And this was the next best player, in my opinion, in that draft. We got to the ninth spot to be able to get him. And the fact that he went nine was even confusing to me because he should have been a top five guy in that draft. He started off late last year as a diaper dandy and ended the year with double digit sacks, but he didn't start getting those sacks until around week 10. And then he just never stopped getting sacks since that. I mean, he broke the sack record this year. I figured out how to get him to the quarterback. I also know how to use him now on some Corey shit. Shout out to Corey. Good looks when I text you and ask you how you do it, and you tell me, hey. But Max, this guy, broke the sack record this year, and he's the league MVP this year. How impressive is that? The fact that a defensive player has won the MVP of our league for the first time ever.
Extremely impressive at this point in the season. I mean, at this point in the disc, with the people that's on this list, um, the performances that have been given, and the I don't know, the game in and game out per se performance by Peter Woods is definitely just overall impressive.
Your top five finishers was Ray Wills at two, Nico Amaliva at three, Anthony Iverson at four, and Cedric Baxter, the junior, at five, and the MVP. And let's look at the offensive player of the year. Anthony Iverson takes that trophy down. Offensive player with Baxter and Walker are two and three. Let's look at Johnny Martin at four and Deion Smith at five. Solid, solid. In the NFC, you're looking at Ray Wills wins Offensive Player of the Year with Nico Wyman, Owens, and Bryce Young at five. Do you expect Bryce Young to be in the top five here?
Uh, it was possible.
All right. Now, Defensive Player of the Year goes to Revis Allen. I did not expect this. That means you stopped Damon David from having a game week 18. That's all that comes down to. He didn't perform as he would have done to most people that he played. What was the key of stopping him from getting interceptions? Because that gave Revis Island the defensive player of the year, and I'm assuming he's the guy that got the pick, almost pick six against the 49ers for him to have this award right now. Shout out. We haven't really seen a corner win the award either, so that's special in
Wow,
my
yeah.
opinion too. Reeves Island wins that, and this is a veteran in the league too. He comes from the last Game of Thrones draft, so this guy, up there in age, he's a veteran in the league. He's showing that he's a top corner in this league as well, and he wins the award with David at two. You got Brad Dawkins from the Cardinals at three, and to me, Tylon Shazier, who's going to be a fucking problem for the next two seasons. I mean, for the next two seasons, I think Craig is in good hands with this linebacker right here. I think he's special. We haven't seen the linebacker. Well, last time he had a linebacker like this, we couldn't wait for him to get off the fucking field. Remember that guy? White, get him out of there. We
Yep.
tired of his ass. And then Trayvon Walker from the defense end and go rounds off the five spot. But Revis Allen is the defensive player of the year in the NFC. In the AFC, the defensive player of the year goes to, surprise, Peter Woods wins that with Eli Ricks having a hell of a season, man, as the number one corner in the AFC right now. Barno does what he always do at three. Travis Hunter as at four, and then Keyshawn Peppers at five. That Ravens defense is very, very especially this year. With Travis Hunter having his breakout year with 14 interceptions this year. Eli Ricks had a breakout year as well too. Eli Ricks, is he now the number one corner for the Texans team, or is it still Rudy over there, the 6'4" freak they got over there? I think Eli Ricks' number stepped up because guys didn't try the other corner as much as they,
Yeah,
usually do. I think
I would
that
have
so.
to see. I would have to see. This is like a breakout year to me.
With Bobby Teller going to the Giants, is Derek Stingley, is this a breakout year for Travis Hunter, or is he the best corner on their team with Derek Stingley over there? Fix that microphone.
No, I had it on mute, on purpose. But I think Travis Hunter's just best corner over there. He's kind of just showing it now.
Listen, Peter Woods coming off the edge. Keyshawn Pepper's coming off the edge. Keyshawn been doing it for a couple of years now. But Peter Woods in his second season had a fucking amazing year. This is a year that you really gotta admire out of him. But look, man, the Ravens got two guys coming off the edge right now, and that's fucking dangerous. Peppers with 20 plus sacks, and Woods with 40 plus sacks this year. Can be dangerous. But then you're looking at guys like the Bills, where Barno, who's been consistently 20 plus sacks every year, and then Aubrey Miller from out of Jackson State, the middle linebacker over there, who's been quietly creeping up in the situations as well. Let's get to the rookies and see the diaper dandy. Cedric Baxter Jr., well deserved rookie of the year for the AFC. And I think
Absolutely.
honestly, I think if it was a just rookie league thing, I think Cedric Baxter win that. Would you agree or disagree with me? I think if it wasn't broken down in AFC and NFC offensive rookie of the year, and it was just rookie of the year, I think Cedric Baxter wins that award on both sides. Would you agree or disagree with that statement?
It would be between. I don't know. I gotta look at it. I would have to look at the rest of the
It's an
stats because.
argument because Ray Joseph went fucking crazy this year.
And
Like,
then honestly, I mean, you just gotta keep going through. Just gotta keep going through.
man, all right. Well, Cedric Benson won it. There's really nothing else to talk about. Offensive Rookie of the Year starts there. Johnny Shakur as the third receiver for the Dolphins came in second. Petaway for the Raiders. Hakeem Williams for the receiver for the Bills. And then Dante. DD, double D, TD, that's who he is. Red zone threat. Had the fifth spot right there. Right. So they'll get your five rookies in the AFC, but the winner of that award, Cedric Baxter Jr., knocks down the Rookie of the Year award there. NFC, obviously. Oh my God, Ruben Owens jumped
That's why I
over.
said I can't. I don't. I
Jesus. Ruben Owens jumps over how? Ray went
There
fucking
must be
bonkers this
something.
year.
There must
What
be
the fuck
something
is
I
going
wasn't looking
on?
at.
We
There
got a
must be something
defensive
I wasn't
player of the
looking
year MVP, and we got guys with 20 plus touchdowns and over 2,000 yards as a receiver getting jumped by a running back.
at. But I don't know what this running back stats look like.
We're gonna look at the stats real soon. Believe
I have
that.
to.
We're gonna have to look at the stats real soon. Believe that conversation. Are you surprised that Ruben Owens? Shout out to fucking
Yeah,
Snake, man.
that's why I'm like, that's why I wasn't saying nothing. I was like, he ain't get to it yet. But it's like I want to say, oh yeah, Baxter. But when I thought that Ray Joseph was having a crazy year. Ruben Owens somehow passed that, so I'm thinking like I don't know. I got to go look at all of their stats before I just say
All
that.
right, that's crazy, bro. That's something to talk about right now. Look, man, is it just man? Snake is a good coach when it comes down to knowing how to build players, things like that. Think Ruben won this because he played punt returner, kick returner as well.
Uh, could be. That's like optics that we can't see, but it could be because all purpose that makes him a very high yardage person. All purpose.
Man, that I did not expect that. I did not expect to look at the NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year award and see Joseph at two, considering what he did this year. So I'm assuming Ruben must have went crazy against the Lions.
Must have. I mean, him himself, he was between receiving and catching. He was 2,300 yards, 27 touchdowns. And if you add punt return, kick return,
Is this some Madden bias shit or what? Are we looking at are we doubting? I just know what Joseph
I
did
don't know.
all year, bro.
I mean, yeah,
Joseph
we
went
just
crazy.
gotta look at the stats.
Man,
We
all
gotta
right,
look at the
we'll
stats.
get to it. Defensive Rookie of the Year in the NFC goes to my nephew, Hameen Anderson. Good shit, Flo. Good shit. Cornerback Hameen Anderson takes that trophy home. Randolph for the Falcons, the cornerback. Ali for the Eagles, another dog, sitting at 3. Rusaw, pass rusher, and then Bowen. Their shit didn't really change too much, nothing, but defensively, there we go. And the defensive rookie of the year goes to Hamid Anderson. And the AFC defensive rookie of the year goes to Khalid Downs. This Broncos
Antonio
team is young.
said Antonio said Ruben had him a day.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Snake said,
Week
"Fuck that."
18, baby.
Right? Snake said, "Fuck that." I'm going to fuck all. Snake probably looked at the shit and said, "Oh nah, hell no, I'm ready to go fuck crazy with this running back." He probably gave him the ball all game long, all game, all game long. All right, so the Broncos are in the awards race again. Khalid Downs, he's been the best. He was the number one safety coming out the draft. He's been the best young diaper dandy safety all year. I told you he gave me the vibes of when they were at their best. Snake quarterback got hurt. Went to the only thing he knew. Yep, running the ball. Hell yeah. Because even if Stroud wasn't hurt, he would have been running that motherfucking field. All right, so Khalid Downs is giving me vibes of what was the safety that they had back in Game of Thrones that the Broncos had?
Caden Stearns
Kanan
and
Stern. They giving me Kanan Stern vibes for sure right now. Ugalele was 3. Don Schuler for the Texans is a fucking animal at safety. And you got Vickers, and then there's nephew Kamari Robinson at 5 right now. So the Broncos are in a good situation because we go down a little farther. They got their son sitting right there, Jimbo's son, another 2023 graduate. He's gonna be a dog as well. Anthony Massey, Mastatin. I don't want to butcher his last name, so I'm just gonna call him AM, but he's there too as well. So, man, Broncos they taking a bunch of youth into these playoffs, man, and they all playing well for this team right now. So when we look at the stats of, I mean, we look at the award races offensively and defensively in the AFC and NFC. We did have a surprise. Baxter, we expected it, but we did not expect Ruben Owens to overtake Nathan Ray Joseph. That's crazy. I mean, he had like before I continue don't let me forget that conversation. We're gonna come back to it. In the AFC, the best quarterback goes to Anthony Iverson, Shador Sanders, Mike Weber, De'Aaron King, and Philip Harper are your top 5. In the NFC, the quarterback goes to Ray Wills. He wins that award. Nico is second. Bryce Young is third. Jaden Daniels and Khalid Williams round off your top 5. When you're looking at the running backs of the NFC, Owens takes it from Zeus. Oh my God. Samir White, 2. Cameron Harrison, 3. And he's the league rusher. Jaleel Ruggs is a touchdown machine at 4. And then there's the guy, Jalen Knighton out of Carolina, that gets the ball a lot at 5 right there. But there's your Ruben Owens. He has 2 trophies as a diaper dandy in his trophy case. And the AFC running backs are as follows. Cedric Baxter takes that award. Walker, the third, second. Johnny Martin, a factor back, is at 3. B. John Robinson lands at 4, and then he missed 5 games. And then to the house, man, the veterans sitting here at 5 as well. They're your top 5 sitting in the AFC as running backs right now. When you get to the wide receivers, surprise, surprise, that guy, Deion Smith, is sitting at 1. Number 1, so he takes the award home this year. Shout out to Deion Smith. He's been balling since his rookie year. Since he had doubters, he's been making the doubters eat their words. Jameson Williams is number 2. Kevin Coleman is number 3. David Bell is 4. And then Velus Jones Jr. finds him a home from Giantsville to Las Vegas. And all he did was gamble on the money, took the money, and playing like he money right now. Top 5 receivers in the AFC. NFC top 5 receivers are as follow. Malachi Wideman wins that award. Ray Joseph comes in second. Dog. Him and Brew McCoy are looking like a 1-2 punch over there for sure in Tampa Bay right now, man. Brew McCoy 3, and then there's my guy Evan Stewart sitting at 4, and then the Saints bring home another Camden kid, Amari Clark, sitting at 5 right now. But they're again, Malachi Wideman wins that award, best receiver. Offensive line goes to Tony Ramsey, Giants. Are we looking at rookies? Is this Diaper Dandy?
yeah, it's a rookie. left guard.
Then after that, the entire Bucks offensive line is second, third, fourth, and fifth, sitting on this list right now. Oh my God. All right, but Ramsey. So how important is him? What position he plays, and explain how this rookie was able to win offense, the best offensive lineman this year.
Um, I mean, at that left guard, no, it's just means a lot, honestly, from running to the left and then pulling, obviously, in a sense, lets up one sack all year, starting from the first game of the season. No injuries, so he's durable. You know, I feel like going against some of the best D tackles in the league has just allowed him to.
They call him Curly from the Three Stooges. Um, they say he's the jokester, he's the clown, but when it comes down to once the game start, he's all business. Big time athlete at guard. This guy can play anywhere on the offensive line. What makes him effective at guard though for you?
Uh, Speed, solid build, strong. Naturally came, to the league strong and one of the smarter guards on the scouting as far as um, coming out awareness, like just one of the smarter guards, mixing it with the size and the speed, natural strength. It's just a solid guard, and was able to mix well with the left tackle Charles Cross, and I feel like that's part of why he was able to be so successful. He was next to a sturdy left tackle, so it kind of upped his game as well.
All right, Mr. Pancake himself, Cardell Thomas wins it again for the second year in a row. Best offensive lineman in the AFC. Pat Falk on his retirement party comes in second. Ben Grubbs third, and then you got the Texans Barrett at four, and then comes down to five. Candidate starting at left tackle for the first time this year. He used to be a right tackle. Then he lost his job. Then he gained it back at the left tackle position. Playing pretty solid. So shout out to the Ravens and their offensive line at this point. Now let's look at that D line, best D line in the AFC. It goes like this. Peter Woods wins that award. That's his third trophy. He brings home MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Best Defensive Lineman in the AFC right now. Keyshawn Pepper is second on this list. And then we got a guy that is really having a breakout year, Malik Sela, who's balling for the Raiders right now. At four, you got an HBCU kid, and Keyshawn James, and at five, veteran Bryce Ware for the Broncos. Probably one of the only veterans they got on their team right now, who's still playing at a high level. That's the top five linemen. D lineman in the AFC with Peter Woods bringing home that trophy. In the NFC, your defensive line goes as far as Trayvon Walker is number one right now. Cardinals have Tyreek Smith at two. Then the Vikings, Calvin Green. Then you're looking at the Bears, JT. And then there's your guy, Angelo Falk, Patrick Falk's brother, who plays defensive line. And he's going to continue to carry the Falk name on while Patrick is looking to retire after this season. But Angelo Falk, I think he's quiet because the football team wasn't really in the news all year as a team winning ball games. So it like took away from what he really is. But Angelo Falk is one of the better pass rushers in the league, and the award goes to Trayvon Walker. You're looking at the best linebacker in the league in the NFC, and I told y'all Tylon Shazier to me is the next Devin White for the Buccaneers right now. Jet Black comes in second. Tom Fox third. Matt Kuanuko. And then you got Justin Jacobs at five. So the Bucks got two out of the five linebackers in the NFC with their award going to Tylon Shazier. In the AFC, the defensive linebackers going to are nobody but Armar Acute Barno. I'm acute. I get to the football. Acute. I'm fast. I get there. Barno. He sacks quarterback. That's what he do. So does Will Anderson. Will Anderson plays really well at linebacker, but Barno brings us award home for the second time. And then they got another kid stepping up in Demario Tullen at linebacker as well, playing at a high level. What we do like Abdul Carter. He was the sleeper coming out, one of those Penn State guys. They test well in the combines and things like that. He was a testing warrior. Like his combine was off the hook, and he's showing that all that stuff he did in the combine is showing up on the field right now at four. Christian Harrison, the Alabama linebacker, sitting at five, and they'll be a top five with Barno winning that award.
I put him
Now,
to tomorrow at 2:30.
at DB, AFC, Eli Rick still wins that award with this list of DBs from 1 to 7 right now alone is fucking ridiculous in the AFC. Eli Ricks wins that award. I think he wins the most interceptions this year. Travis Hunter is second. Kyle Hamilton is third. Then you got the safety Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State for the Texans at 4. And then there's my kid Duke Chestnut from Camden, New Jersey, sitting at 5 for the Dolphins right now. Then you got Gilmore, Hill, Ryan Watts. I mean, there's some guys on this list. You got Jalen Jones and then Dejon Warren. This cornerback, second safety room in the AFC is fucking ridiculous. And then if the NFC matching that, Revis Island wins the award with Damon David at 2, Brad Dawkins at 3, Chris Samuels at 4, shut down for the Niners. Zach Holiday at 5, sitting at 5, and then you're looking at Baron Mullins, Cass Fields. You go down, you got Grimes and Booth, all on this top 10 list with Revis Island winning that award. So let's show some kickers some love. The kicker, Chase Hegerman for the Giants, wins that award. And in the AFC,
Yes,
our
sir.
kicker is Sammy Harrison for the Broncos. And the punter, no punters, they just got kickers. All right, let's talk about Ray Joseph and Reuben Owens and why Madden decided to give Reuben Owens the Offensive Player Rookie of the Year. Gotta go to those stats real fast. All right, so the Cowboys roster right now. Let's look at. I mean, their quarterback, C.J. Stroud, threw 19 touchdowns and 30 interceptions this year. Jesus, Snake, what are you doing with my quarterback? I'm not shit. Oh my God. Reuben Owens had 357 carries for 1,855 yards. He averaged 5.2 yards a carry, 25 touchdowns, 109 yards a game, 68 broken tackles on the year. What else did he do for him to get this award?
Receiving, I mean, he got about
44
400.
catches, 336 yards there. What was he as a punt returner, kick returner? Kick returner, 23 kicks for 529 yards, 23 yards a pop. And as a punt returner, what did he do? 18 for 144 yards, 8 touchdowns. Well, that's just production overall. When you look at that production and you saw those numbers, almost a 2,000 yard back, I didn't mean to come all out of that shit. God damn it. But then you go look at Ray and you ask yourself, where's the bias at? Because this man had, you would think he was the number one receiver on his team. I mean, look what we're dealing with. How do you lose Rookie of the Year with these numbers? Look at these receiver numbers we're looking at right now. 113 catches on the year, 2,283 receiving yards, 20 yards a catch, 134 yards, 53 yards a game. He had 30 fucking touchdowns, 724 run after catch yards, 6.4 yards after catch. I mean, Max, we don't got to go no further than how. I mean, it's not like Reuben Owens had a punt return for a touchdown, kick return for a touchdown. Like, he just had, punt return and kick return yards. But this guy went fucking crazy. This guy had one of the better years than any rookie, really. You had some rookies that came out at receiver that done some stuff like this. But 113 catches is not something that you just look at. But, it's not like it's been done all the time like that. And then 2,000 yards, 2,200, 30 touchdowns. How does Madden give Reuben Owens? And I'm not shitting on Reuben Owens, but I just want to know how Ray lose that Rookie of the Year award to Reuben Owens. Was it what they did in the last game?
Possibly.
Let's take a look
And
at
we
it.
never, and we never know if, I won't say impact. Well, I won't say, yeah, nah. Impact of team doesn't really get displayed. Maybe the last game.
He had 4 catches, 51 yards, 2 touchdowns in that game. Let's see what. I mean, we heard Antonio say the quarterback got hurt, so he went fucking crazy with the running back. So let's see what the fuck he did with the running back. First of all, give me a second to get back to the rushing yards over there, and let's see what he did in this last game, because I'm assuming that's what they counting. Because I mean, let's not act like Reuben Owens. The stats we just seen on this kid ain't ridiculous, but I didn't think it was enough to overcome what Ray did this year. And the fact that he didn't get that award is fucking crazy to me. But we're gonna go see what happened. He did in his last game, and this is it right here. You talk about a guy that won the award. Fuck receiving yard. He
35,
gave him 35 carries. Oh my
15,
God.
30,
30,
35.
35.
Bodie.
45.
Boo
How,
boo boo boo.
45. Wait, what's the? Hold on, no, we gotta get the back end of that. There's no way we can get those numbers wrong. Hold up, man. No
If
way.
35 isn't one of the numbers, I just do it in there.
Nah, 35 in there. Hold on, I got
It's
you. We gonna
15,
got you. We
30,
gonna got you.
35. Bodie. Boo doo boo boo boo. 45, 47. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
I get that motherfucker 35 carries, bro. It's not playing.
Hey, Mr. Shell, what's happening? How many times am I gonna have to tell you? Don't open the potato chips until you pay for them. You're gonna have to tell me that all the time, because I like potato chips. Mr. Shell, why you sweat me, man? I come in here all the time. Nickel and dime hustler, looking for the 5-finger discount, and I have to keep my eyes on you. And you know what? I'm gonna start going at the wife. If you don't laugh at my jokes, I'm not white. Who don't want around your lips? No, I'm just kidding, Mr. Shell. My woman gave me these numbers to play. 15. 30, 37, 38, 45, 47.
Yeah, no 35.
15, 30,
37,
38,
43.
45, 47.
Do,
You
do,
don't
do,
laugh,
do. 45, 47. Said 15, 37, 38. He gave that motherfucker 35 carries, 260 yards, 7.4. He said, fuck it, I ain't got no more games to play. We going out with our running back. Bottom line. 35. I think this is what did it, though. 35 carries,
Nah,
260
yeah,
yards,
this is what
7.4
did
and
it.
3 touchdowns. He
200
just
is
had
a
the better
quarter.
game.
That's a quarter of 1,000 yards right there. You can make up a lot of shit in a quarter of 1,000 yards, basically.
I
Like,
mean, it does make sense now that you look at it like that because my 6 sacks won me the MVP. Bottom line, last game of the season. You know what I'm saying? Like so I get it. I get it, Ruben Owens. But like if we just public opinion is does Ruben Owens deserve the Rookie of the Year over?
I didn't even know he was shitting like that until like the last 2 weeks. So no.
He but he played well all year. We've been talking about him on the shows all year. But Ray has been in a different atmosphere. The only time I think what really stopped us from talking about Ray is because early on when he played Jew, he took him out the game for the most part because he felt that rookiness. And then he lived with it after that and said, fuck it. And just went Ray crazy. And we kind of like stopped following it because of that, And in my opinion, I mean, you can't ignore 113 fucking catches on a year for 2,200 yards, 30 touchdowns as a diaper dandy. And you're not even the number one receiver on that team.
This nigga had 14 broken tackles in one game.
14, I didn't even see that. Oh my God.
Hey, almost half of these nigga carries he broke a tackle. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh God. Damn, Antonio, what the fuck? What you had his stick on? I had aggressive tackling on. They was breaking the shit out of them break tackles. They was breaking 14 broken tackles in one game. Is it safe to say that he led the league in broken tackles this year?
I'm willing to bet on it off of that one game. I'm about
Oh
to go
my
look right now.
God.
I'm gonna look right now. I'm willing to bet off it. That one game.
That one game winning. He had 68 broken tackles. Anybody have any more broken tackles than that?
I'm going right now. Hold on.
15, 37, 38. Shit, nah, he was carrying everybody. Oh my God.
Jalen Knighton beat him by 4. 72.
Mm.
And that nigga 5'10", 200. Oh my god.
He's out there, right? These running backs out there, they don't care. They just run them in them motherfuckers and just hit buttons. Hey, niggas just running, stretch and run into you and push buttons until they get tackled. Oh my God. All right, man. Let's look at who won the stats real fast, like right now. So when you look at our passing leaders right now. All right, so Felix Harper led the league in passing yards this year. Shout out to him. That's something that he'll, he a mark that he'll have on his belt. 6,860 yards with Wade Wills finishing in second with 6,669, and Nico in third with 6,596. The touchdown leader of this season was passing touchdowns are Nico with 81, Ray Wills at 73, Allen Anthony Iverson at 66. Behind that, in your top three, percentage wise, 75% for Will, 72% for Iverson. Um, I think we did have another 70% guy on here, Jaden Daniels at 72%. I don't want to go click on it and go to it because it's going to put guys that threw the ball once this year. All right, who led the league in carries all year long? Surprise, surprise. Ruben Owens, 357 carries. E.B. Savage, 350. And then Kenneth Walker the third had 331 carries on the year. Yards wise, it goes to who won the league rushing yards and 2,000-yard rusher, two of them this year. It's the first year in a long time where we ain't have at least four guys with 2,000 yards rushing this year. You got Cameron Harrison, first time running back starter, 2,123 yards, and then Cedric Baxter Jr. at 2,088. Cameron had only 242 carries. I mean, for a 2,000-yard back, he had at least carries, out of a lot of the guys that had somewhere between 1,800 to 2,000. This guy averaged 9 yards a carry, 23 rushing touchdowns right now. I don't think there's nobody in the league that had more rushing yards per carry than Harrison, but Baxter at 6.7. Johnny Martin third, 1964 with 7.7 yards a pop in his game. That's a really big average. Touchdown winner goes to, surprise, surprise, Cedric Baxter wins that, ties it with Ruggs, but obviously they gave it to him. So it's a tie for first place rushing touchdowns, 27 apiece, Baxter and Ruggs. Kenneth Walker tied for second with Zeus, 26 and 26. Ruben Owen has the third place locked down by itself at 25, who averaged the most yards per game rushing yards wise, and it was surprise, surprise. Johnny the factor back Martin with 131 yards a game. Harris was second with 124, which is 125, and then Cedric Baxter third with 123 yards a game. You get to the receivers. Who had the most catches on the year right now? Max, we're seeing multiple receivers with 100 plus catches right now. Malachi Wyman had 124. Ray Joseph had 113, and Deion Smith had 104. They're your top three. When you look at the yards right now, who led that? And we're looking at Deion Smith with 2,847 yards. Shout out to Deion Smith. Wyman was second with 2,746, and Ray Joseph third with 2,283. How the fuck did this guy did not win Rookie of the Year? All right, receiving touchdowns. Malachi had 34. Joseph was second with 30. Brew McCoy had 26, $2 back to back. Deion Smith with 23, tied with, not only is he tied with Deion Smith, it's Gilbert and James Williams are tied for third most touchdowns out of the receivers in the league this year. So shout out to them. Let's look at defense and look at who had the most tackles. And hopefully it's not a computer team. Well, it is. You look at the most tackles in the league. Yep. Computer team. Computer team. Computer team. Do 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 do. Dinner Brad, computer team. Computer team. Do 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 do. Computer team. All right, that's who had the most tackles for losses this year. All right, it says Jason Dumas had 20 tackles for losses this year. Bryce Ware had 20, so they're tied for first until you go to the AFC and realize not so fast, my friend. Brian Breezy with 25. Why they not showing him in the NFL, I don't know. But here's your tackle for loss leader. 25 for Brian, and then in second place is Bryce Ware and Dumas. So let's go back to the NFL. Make sure the NFC don't show him more than 25 either. Nope, 19. All right, cool. Now we can go back to the NFL and we look at those stats. So second place are Dumas and Ware, and in third place you got Calvert and Channing Tindall, middle linebacker. Another dog that they got over there. Yo, we got three. The Bucks got three linebackers right now. That's trending up right now. Channing Tindall, Tylon Shazier, and that kid Justine. I can't remember his last name. Let's see if he's on there somewhere. You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yep.
Turning up over there. All right, let's go look at the sack leaders in the NFL right now. Let's see what we're looking at. Peter Woods wins that with 44 sacks this year. Behind him is 22. Wait, so they ain't even show him. Malik Silas. He got 22 sacks. He's second in the league. Oh, no, I was tackle for losses. Tackle for losses. All right, Barno with 21 and a half. Keyshawn James has 20. And they're missing somebody right now. Let's go to the AFC real fast. All right, Keyshawn Peppers is second in the league. So Max, what do you have to say about this? Baltimore had Peter Woods with 44 sacks, and the second place sack leader, most sacks in the season, was Keyshawn Peppers with 23, coming off the edge. What do you guys say about
I
that?
mean, them niggas got more sacks together than some
Can
team
some teams
most
combine right
most
now?
most team seasons and teams combined at the moment.
That shit crazy. Them motherfuckers getting to it. They getting after it. Sending it. Sending it. All right, let's get back to the make sure the NFC we missing anything over there. 18 and a half, 18, 17. Okay, we're not. All right, back to the NFL sack leaders as follows. All right, so we know Keyshawn Peppers is second with 23. Then there's Phillips with 22. Barno with 21. We got to talk about the 20 guys. Keyshawn James had 20 as well. There's your guys. Let's look at the interception leaders. Hopefully, we don't got to go through NFC and AFC. All right, Eli Ricks with 15 interceptions on the year. Now I've seen corners, 17 picks on the year, things like that. But we in the real draft era, not the Game of Thrones era. How impressed are you with Eli Ricks with 15 picks this year, to 7 pass breakups, deflections?
Overall, I mean, he's definitely just showing that he's not really a side to be bargained with. 98 tackles as a cornerback. This is
That
an
that
alpha.
right there is what scares me.
He's an
Like
alpha
like
male.
is that I mean you coming is that guys catching the ball and you making a tackle, or is that coming down in a run game? Like that's too many tackles for
98.
it to be
That's
somebody
both.
catching the
Yeah,
fucking, you know what I mean? That's
that's both. Yeah, it's
that's
an alpha male corner.
I'm a complete fucking corner. I ain't just a shutdown. I'm a run stopper too, nigga. Don't come my way. That's what that is. Because 5 of those 98 tackles got tackled in the backfield.
Yeah, alpha male. Alpha male.
Alpha fucking male is for sure, man. Big time player, make big time plays in big time moments. That's what we seeing right now. This
What
type
you
of
said?
season, where does that rise Eli Ricks amongst the ranks of corners in the league? Should we slide him right up to the top?
He's starting to look like he's asking for top five recognition. I mean, these are crazy stats. If he follows up next season, I feel like that's more of a staple.
All he gotta do is
Um,
have, if he have double digit interceptions next season, is solidified, it's a wrap.
yeah, definitely.
Right. So now, what you're not going to see is you're not going to see some guys on here. So let's look at the AFC right now. All right. So Travis Hunter has 12 interceptions. You don't see him in the NFL right now when it comes to the NFL, but he's tied with Brad Dawkins and Reeves Allen. So we're going to talk about that in a second. Look at the NFC. Make sure it's just, we ain't missing them by 12, 12. Zach Holiday with 10. Like, look, Zach Holiday, I think won Defensive Player of the Year or Defensive DB award last year, right? I think he did. Let's go look at his numbers real fast.
One that says last year or 2 years ago.
He won Best DB in 2032, Defensive Player of the Year. That was last year. All right. So, yes. So, again, now when you look at him, where the fuck he go? 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 Now, you look at his numbers. This is what I mean by Eli Ricks. So, let's look and see what Zach Holiday did last year, 2032. He had 16 interceptions last year, right? And that's what won him Defensive Player of the Year and Defensive Back of the Year. But he comes back this year and he has 52 tackles, tackle for loss, and 10 interceptions. That's what I mean. Eli Ricks had to have that type of season to solidify himself as a, like Zach Holiday is in the top 5 at corners right now. Yes or no?
Zach Holiday with top corners right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
hmm And then if I have to have a banging season like that, so his last 4 seasons, 10 picks, 10 picks, 16 picks, and 10 picks. I mean that's solidifying yourself as one of those guys, and he might add the stats to be arguably the best corner in the league right now. Would you say yeah or no to that?
Holiday.
Yeah. I mean his
Yeah,
last 4 seasons, he double digit sacks, 10, 10, 16, and 10. Um,
yeah, he's
could be
definitely.
arguably the best corner in the league, right?
Yeah, definitely making it.
So that's what I mean by Eli Ricks. If he can come back and have 10 interceptions next year, we're talking about him moving on up. Moving on up. Now, when we look at the next guy on this list, the 12. So let's look at the 12. You start here in the AFC. You got to start with Travis. All right, so let's see what Travis did this year. As a rookie, Travis had 8 picks. Last year he had 9 picks. This year he had 12 picks. Um, but 57 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, 12 interceptions. Deflection wise, only 4. He had 14 a year before, 4 this year. All right, so he's picking shit off this year. Breakout season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. All right, so we'll leave that alone. Now, the other guy that you're not going to see on the NFL list, well, you will see on the NFL list for interceptions. So let's go back to that for a second. All right, Reeves Allen with 12. Let's take a look at him for a second, stat wise. Is he a top 5 corner in this league?
Um, I might
I,
say
I'm gonna
so.
honestly,
Yeah.
I'm gonna honestly say no, and I'm gonna say he having a breakout year this year. Look at his last 4 years. 36 interceptions, 9 interceptions, 5 interceptions last year, and then 12 this year. I think this is more of a breakout year for him. He's been consistent because you got double digit interceptions. He's been in the league for a very long time. He got consistency though, but I mean, if you look at his body of work overall, you could say top 5. But if we just talking about since 2030, 6, 9, 5, 12. This will make a breakout year for him. 77 tackles, most tackles, 2 tackles for losses, 12 interceptions. Let's see how many breakups he had. 9 deflections. I mean, he's been he either he drop a lot of interceptions or he bat shit down. 12, 10, 10, 13, 7, 9, 9. Dog, I don't know. We can have that conversation later on. Let's look at the stats right now. What they doing this year? He's balling out. Uh, he got 12 right, so that makes him number 2, along with Travis Hunter. They're tied for 2. Dawkins has 12 as well. So he'll be tied for 2. So we got 3 guys tied for second place. Just want to see what he did stat wise real fast. Another breakout year for a guy, 65, 3, and 12. All right. So and at 3 is uh, Kyle Hamilton. Max, real fast. I'm going on a limb. Just make the argument with me, yes or no. I'm going on a limb and say over the last 2 years, Kyle Hamilton has been the best safety in the league. I want you to agree or disagree with me. 2032, 85. Listen, 2032, 85 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 14 interceptions, 7 deflections, and 2 to the crib. This year he ran 4 back to the crib, 4 deflections, 12, 10 interceptions this year, 72 tackles, 6 tackles for losses. Argue with me, what safety playing better football than him right now? And he not a sub linebacker. He don't come up and play sub. He back deep the whole game.
I'm trying to look. Gotta look through the league.
They were your top 3. Let me make sure there's nobody else with 10. Zach Holiday got 10. David has 10. All right, let me make sure. AFC. Anybody else got 10? Dude, Chestnut was right there, and Aubrey Miller at linebacker. Jesus Christ. NFC. Anybody else got 10? Yeah, we got them all. Mullins balled out with 9. He was right there as well.
I might say. I feel like I would have to look, but off the top of my head, Hamilton, Dawkins, Stubblefield.
Yeah, Stubblefield balled out, but he inconsistent
I mean,
play
he
by the
didn't play
coach
this
though.
year. I mean, that was just this year though, so it's like, uh, I would have to really look. But I mean,
That could be
he's
for
top,
another discussion. Our top
yeah,
5
he's top
safeties, top
two,
5 corners.
three, easy, like easy top 2, 3.
All right, so here we go. Matchups have changed tremendously. Here we go. So let's take a look at it. Nothing changed in the NFC. So we're going to talk about this right now. So let's go down to the bottom seeds and start there first. All right, so 4 versus 5. Let's talk about this matchup, Max, because this is we picking our games. All right, playoff games are getting picked, fellas. Let's get it.
I thought the NFC did change. Didn't it? Wasn't it Craig versus Rob last week?
It was Craig versus Rob this week too.
Oh, it is. Oh, they just they weren't at three. Falco was at three.
Yeah, Craig was at 2, Eagles at 7.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's how it was. That's how
so
it was.
nothing really changed. The AFC changed. 2 dropped to 4. Uh, everything
Two
switched.
dropped to four. Four went to three. And
4 went to 3. No, no, no.
it's actually
Five
a two.
5 went to 3.
Man,
3 went to 6.
nah, Ray Ray was four because he was winning. He's still a
Yeah,
division
he was
winner.
winning division. So 4 went to 3.
To three, and then two went to four, and four went to two. I mean,
Yep.
three went to two. It was Bills and Broncos.
Yep. So Bills went to back to the second seed. Texans dropped from second to 4. Raiders went from 4 to
Because the
3.
Raiders won, so the Raiders and their division winners, so they go up, and they would go to three.
Yo, think about this. The Raiders and the Broncos, they 50-50 there last time they had to play each other. And they're right back to playing each other, although they played each other twice in the division. They're right back to playing each other again for the playoffs right now. That's a scary matchup.
Yeah, it's almost good that they didn't play that second game in a sense.
Yep. Sometimes luck to the way the luck draws. All right, so let's talk about this fucking Lions 49ers matchup. Max, key players in each one of these games right now, man. Do it start first? Let's go. Do it start with the quarterbacks play first?
I think for the 49ers it does. For the Lions, I feel like it's all about the backfield.
The entire backfield?
Yep.
All right, so let's look at the 49ers and their quarterback play this year and why you feel like the quarterback play is the most important play for the 49ers right now. So it starts right there, right? Win or lose, it starts with AR-15. That's what you're saying?
Yep.
All right. AR, 53 touchdowns this year, 41 interceptions, 61% on the year, 329.4 yards a game. Not bad at all. 44 sacks on the season right now. I will go on a limb and say I think the run game is important for this team too. And look, it's not a lot of rushing yards. You're not looking at a lot of rushing yards, but what you're looking at is multiple players with almost 100. Like they got 3 running backs that had 100 carries this year. That's big. The problem
Yeah.
6'4", 4'3", 4'6". I'm not mad at those yards, and then Richards also contribute with 7.7 yards a pop as well. So they got 3 backs in their backfield that they can work and use in their offense. And to me personally, Max, I think that's more important than AR because if AR got to come out this game and he has to make a play or two at the quarterback position, but he has to be a smart game manager for the most part, field general. I think if they can use these 3 running backs in the playoffs the way they've been using them all year, that can help them in possessions and driving and putting drives together and getting up and down the field. So I think that I think AR should be more of a game manager this game, and you're arguing that he has to go out and win this game, right? If you think AR has to win this ball game, explain to me why you're making that statement.
Um, my fault. I tuned out a second. You
I
said
just
AR would.
I said AR need to be a field general, a game manager. I think the backfield of
Uh,
the 49ers can win this ball game for them. You said AR has to win the
I
game,
think
so
they could be
explain
a
that.
strong supporting class, but I feel like AR is still gonna have to make throws because one thing we know for sure is that um, one thing we know for sure is that the Lions, secondary is gonna play well, so you can't necessarily like go out there and sling it around, but you're gonna have to make those big throws because running the ball consistently. I mean, you're going against a run versus run team. It can work, but it's also not the game they've been playing consistently all season. They've been running the ball throughout backs, but that means also you've been passing the ball just flat out because you don't have one back dominating the run game.
I, I, eh,
So you're saying you don't got one
I,
back dominating the run game, so to go in
I
there and
hear
try to
you.
start a run game is like it seems like your run game was coming from your ability to kind of pass a little.
I hear you, but I kind of really disagree with you. Here's why. 100 carries from Hamlin, 132 from Diaper Danny James, and then 98 from Craig. Now here's my thing. When you look at the Lions defense, I don't see the Lions defense as a run stopping team for the most part. I think their defense starts with their secondary, especially with the safeties. And you said that already. The Lions secondary, is their strong point. So if that's their strong point, then you want to attack what their weak point is, right? And in this game, you want to run a fucking football because if you do go after their DBs, they do play really well, and they got safeties that play everywhere, from sub linebackers to back deep, and they do a good job with them. And you're looking at guys, and don't forget Brahim Wagner still in the building over here. Woodbury, another guy that can play up top. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, they do got guys that got. I mean, they got multiple guys with 50 plus tackles or more, a lot. So they can play defense, but I do think the key to the game for the Lions, period, is for them to be able to play a stout defense in the run game and in the passing game. I do think their strength are their secondary. And then you're looking at younger receivers that have to be the weapons for the 49ers. In my opinion, I don't like that matchup against the Lions. I don't think the receivers of the 49ers are better than the DBs of the Lions. So to counterbalance that, to be able to make those guys be able to play to get open and things like that, you need play action. And for play action to work, you have to be able to run the football. So again, I don't think AR-15 has to be special in this game. I think he just has to make the throws necessary, make the be able to move the chains. And I think they can do it with the three-headed monster they got in the backfield because they have a legit run game through three different players, uh, versus one guy having a shitload of yards there. Um, but I kind of see your argument too, but I'm gonna disagree with you there. I think their strength is the secondary in the Lions, for the Lions, and I think they have to find a way to make that front seven show us that they can stop us going up and down the field, putting drives together. And I don't think the 49ers can get into a 50-50 shootout game with this Lions defense. I don't think they can line up and take, the Niners like deep shots. They like to take the 50-50 one-on-one, my man, your man, I go get the football. They like to take that. I don't think they're in the situation to be doing that with a guy like Sauce Garner on one side. And then they got that other big ass 6'4" corner that's been shitting all year on the other side, and Bob Mullen, 6'2". So I like this cornerback play over here for sure. And I think the 49ers, although they got two really good young receivers, I don't know if they're ready to really beat one-on-one matchups with Sauce Garner and Bob Mullins. So I don't think AR-15 have to go out there and win this game. I do think he can't make mistakes, and he has to manage the game, and they have to be able to play smart football and control offensive plays and call the right stuff to get them up and down the field. Now on the other side of things, what's the key for the Lions offensively?
Um, no extra turnovers for the 49ers offense. Honestly, they're young and they're usually young in these moments. So when you're a youth, when you play with youth, you don't want to make mistakes on top of the youth's mistakes. Put yourself behind early. I feel like if they stay manageable within a close game, they can come out just and put coaching against coaching and kind of allow their players to play a little bit.
Are you
And
talking about the 49ers offense right now or Lions?
Lions, I thought you said, what do the Lions have to come out
Yeah,
and
yeah.
do?
You said
Yeah.
49ers though, so I think.
Oh, my fault. The Lions, they got to come out there and just be able to, if they can keep it within a close game, I think they can, use their coaching and then, have players make moments, go out there and put it together to overcome the 49ers. So like if the Lions win, it's going to be a close one. If the 49ers win, it's going to be a 10-point margin.
Here's my thing. Whoever Chris Samuels, the cornerback for the 49ers, is covering in this ball game, whatever one of these 1,000-yard receivers they going to be responsible for, he'll be responsible for, has to come to play and has to play lights out. We still don't know who is the number one receiver for the Detroit Lions yet. We still don't know. Although Keelan Stokes has 71 catches, 1,454 yards, if you look at their next receiver, and Mike Timmons, the veteran, he's right behind that with 14 touchdowns as well, right? G. Scott to me is a mismatch nightmare for anybody, but then they also got Kadeem Wagner over there at middle linebacker that's waiting to headhunt G. Scott. Remember, G. Scott is a receiver turned tight end, at Ohio State. He came into Ohio State as a receiver. They bulked him up some and moved him to tight end. And that was a steal for the Lions. They better draft a guy like that because you got a real threat up and down the field at the tight end position. And you can see it 59 catches, 11 on the 6 yards, 15 touchdowns. So I like that matchup. It's Kadeem Wagner versus G. Scott. And which one of these receivers? Because you still got Angelo Griffin. You got Jello Griffin over here as well at the receiver position. My thing is, who is the Lions guy that's going to go win them a playoff game? Which one of these receivers is up for the task? The other part is I don't know who's the starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions. I mean, Quinn Ewers, 5-star, has played well this year, 36 touchdowns, 23 interceptions. And then you look at the younger gunner, Dante Moore, who also threw 24 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Both of them is somewhere between 65%. Both of these guys seem like they're playing in games. Can you win that way though with two quarterbacks? They say if you got two starting quarterbacks, you don't have none. So what are we looking at here? This is a little eyesore in this for me right here because I don't know who's their actual starting quarterback. Antonio, would you care to share who's going to be starting in this game? Because right now I think they got two capable starting quarterbacks. And they're two different quarterbacks. Dante can run the football as well. He can move the pocket a little bit more, and Quinn Ewers has the Patrick Mahomes arm. So I I don't know who you starting, Max.
This does trouble me a little bit that I see this from the quarterback position, but I'm probably going with 5-star. Um,
I'm going with 5-star too. I think he got the arm to do it, and I think in this game the Niners is going to play everything: cover four, cover two, cover three. But I think the Lions are better. The Niners is going to play a little bit man. I think and when they call in zone, you need a guy that could overthrow that zone. Um, so my question is, I would probably start Quinn as well. In this ball game because I think he do have the arm talent to be able to win a playoff game right now for them. Because here's the thing: although we've been admiring Amarion Peterson, 4.8 yards a pop, 74.5 yards a game, only 264 carries, not a lot of carries for a 1,200-yard back. 4.8 yards is not a lot of yards per carry for 6 foot 225-pound back at the same time. And he's a diaper dandy. Is he ready for this type of moment? I do think the 49ers defensively are really loaded to be able to stop the run and play the pass as well. I think this is a harder task offensively for the Lions than it is for the 49ers on defense. Both these teams are going to run the ball. Trust what I'm telling you, they will run the football. Who's going to make the plays in the passing game? It's really going to come down to that, and I do believe that for the Lions offense. Who is going to be that guy that's going to better go win you a playoff game at the receiver position? Is it the tight end G. Scott, or is it one of those speed demons at receiver over there? And in the case of that, what quarterback is throwing the ball? I think the Lions got more questions than answers than the 49ers in this game. And because of that, I'm leaning towards the 49ers to win this ball game. But what does the Lions, in your opinion, have to do, Max, to win this game?
um, shit. I would say force a couple turnovers, establish a well-developed run game, and limit the big plays by the 49ers. Make them work for their drives.
Niners said, we ain't doing 50-50 balls this year, laughing out loud. Scheming my receivers open, damn near four 1,000-yard receivers. That's what I'm saying. The Lions got three 1,000-yard receivers as well, so they can spread the wealth around. My question is, who's the starting quarterback? What receiver is ready to be the number one receiver? Because in the playoffs, you're gonna need a guy to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like most playoff games, most teams that win playoff games, they have a clear cut understanding of who's their guy, whether it's the running back, whether it's the quarterback, whether it's the receiver. Well, the Lions' question is, who's the quarterback? All right, the running back's a diaper dandy. Is he ready for a playoff game? And then who's your number one receiver over there? And then on the 49ers side, it's you got three running backs. Who's the guy? All three of those guys, can they add up to one like they've been trying to pretty much do all year? Or one of those guys got to step up and be that guy? And then in the receiving game, do you have enough scheme opening receivers on your four 1,000-yard receivers that you have this year? Do they have enough experience and ability to be able to beat that safety cornerback play that the Lions present? And don't think that you can sleep on the fact that Kadeem Wagner is in this ball game, but his brother Brahim is on the other side of things. So this is a matchup that I really like right now. You got the Wagner brothers playing in this game, and both of those guys can really pose a threat to the other team's offense right now. Max, who you got winning this ball game? In fact, who's the better Wagner? Like that's a conversation to have. Who you got winning the ball game, and who's the better Wagner, man? I'm gonna go back to stats for a second right here. Let's see what Brahim did this year. And then we're gonna go see what his older brother did in Kadeem. I mean, we got the Wagner brothers really playing against each other this game. Although they won't have to play against each other for sure, but they will be playing the other team's offense. So Brahim, who can play safety or linebacker, and Kadeem, who's one of the best, scariest middle linebackers in the league, to be honest with you. We just gonna speak facts there. Let's look at Brahim at this point right now because he had a great start to his career. Where is he right now? I'm looking at Brahim. So Wagner, 69 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a sack, 5 interceptions on the year. That's Wags. What his brother doing? Kadeem up there like fuck what you talking about. I got 108 on a year, 8 tackle for losses, 1.5 sacks, 3 interceptions. Let's go, bring it. So G Scott, hope you got your helmet laced up tight. Hope you got your spikes laced up and your helmet strap on tight because the moment you catch the ball in front of me, you got to feel me, buddy. All 6'5", 258 pounds of me. And then his brother on the other side, like them little ass receivers better not come across the middle. That's all I'm saying. I mean that matchup is big time. You got oh my god, 2 brothers playing in this game against each other, and they both are hit stick warriors. They'll knock your fucking helmet off if given the opportunity. So again, I ask you, Max, who you got winning that game, Lions or the 49ers?
Lions by a touchdown.
You got the Lions at home by a touchdown.
Hmm.
All right, it's tough for me. I was on the Lions. I thought the Lions would win this game. I have no idea who's the starting
I feel
quarterback.
like you got the. I feel like you got the 49ers. Yeah, once you saw that, it was kind of like,
Yeah, it changed my opinion. I
it's
think I
changing minds too. But I mean, I'm not questioning the coach. I feel like he's
I
been doing it.
I, I think the Niners win the game by 10.
I can see that. That's why I said. Remember, I said I was like, it's gonna be a close game for the Lions and 49ers. If they win, it's gonna be at least 10-point margin, at least.
All right, so let's talk about this. Texans, Browns. Max, I feel like this is two different style of players, two different style of offenses, two different style of defenses. Uh, what I do know is the way the Browns could be a plus to the way the Texans play defense. The way the Browns offense play could be a plus to the way the Texans play defense. Can the Browns take advantage of what the Texans like to do on defense because their offense is already set up as is to come out, hike the ball down one, two, three. You already in a good position to be able to play against the Texans defense and the way they play defense. And that's all I'm gonna say, right? So my opinion, two teams that's not familiar with each other. Now on the flip side of things, you have the Browns who will sit in four for the most part. They switch up the D, but they're gonna play more zone than anything. And the Texans, they want their receivers to blow the top off of your defense while Johnny Martin destroys you on the ground. Whew, boy, we looking at a football game here right now. Now, Matt Corral has been around for a while, but his playoff experience is limited. Eli Stowers hasn't been around, but he's playing really good football down the stretch on his way to a playoff game right now. I like this matchup. I think that this is going to be a very good game, Max. I don't know who wins it, but this is going to be a very good game right now. Talk to me about why you feel like the Browns can win this game on the road.
Um, they have more of a calm nature, uh, less likely to commit turnovers. Kind of how I was speaking on like yesterday or 2 days ago, less likely to commit turnovers, but not because of their running game. They run the ball so much, less likely to commit turnovers because of their style of play. Um, it also matches well against, like you said, against the Texans' defensive style of play, and the Texans are still going to try to be explosive on offense to a sense, even with Johnny Martin. And since the Browns play slow and a pace, kind of, I feel like that could kind of go against the Texans' fast nature, which can make for a more complicated game for them in a sense.
My thing is this: the way the Texans play defense, the Browns are going to have to be consistently putting them somewhere between 8 to 10 play drives together, because that's what they're going to give them. You're not making a big play on them for the most part. You're going to have to really sneak it in to better burn this team deep. This team defense go up against one of the shot play offenses in the league. These guys got weapons that stretch the field all game long. So this defense prepared for deep ball shit. What they want to do is they want to keep everything in front of them and let you march up and down the field and make a mistake. My thing is, can the Browns sustain drives like that without making the mistakes? Without making.
Read the numbers to me again. What you just say?
I connect this out the game. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I said 7.7 yards a pop for Johnny Martin. Now my question is this though: if he can average 7.7 yards a pop, that's going to put pressure on the Browns having to come down and stop the run game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they have to stop the run game, and that speed of the receiver room of the Texans will start getting behind that defense. That's my fear of what the Texans can do to you offensively. They can pound you with Johnny to the point where you got to start loading the box a little bit, and if you have to load that box, they going over top of your head. They catch you sleeping in the zone, they will burn you deep. And it starts with Johnny Martin with his 7.7 yards a pop. I think the Browns have to cut that in half. They got to get them to about somewhere between 4.5 yards a carry versus 7.7. They can do that, then they can be comfortable in what they like to do defensively. But if Johnny is having a day and he can move the game and move up and down the field and put this team in situations, the Texans are going to be in a good situation, man. I'm trying to tell you that offense is dangerous because that running back makes that everything else work for them, flat out. Whatever he does in that run game opens up that offense completely. Um, Now I do think Eli Stowers is going to have to. What the fuck? Why didn't they let me go on in the league? I do think Eli Stowers is going to have to make a play or two in this game. What you think?
Yeah, yeah, he is. He definitely is. Stowers. He gonna have to have a lights out game, damn near for real.
It ain't letting me back in. I think it's a little jammed up, so I'm about to fix this. If it cuts this off, we'll come back with part two. Let me close this app real fast.